Live from the Keon Sports Media Network studios, it is By the Playbook. I'm Brandon Soder. With me, Michael Turnovan, Patrick Walls, and gentlemen, we no longer have to talk about theoretical football. We have real live games to sit here and dissect, 16 of them since the last time we were on the air. But before we start getting into that, guys, how we doing tonight?
Doing all right. My computer's working, so can't complain.
Yes, the best you
Doing
have looked.
good.
So
Doing
usually I've noticed after the video actually goes up, Patrick was looking better than we were seeing him. But it literally looked like he was running off of Walmart Wi-Fi, and not like a router from Walmart, but the guest Wi-Fi that he gets from the Walmart closest to his house.
We
But
cleared
seems
it
to be
up.
much
We got
better
it from the local public library. We just, had an
just
extension
rerouted
cord
it.
that went to the back door.
Yeah, fuck those kids. They don't need the internet.
Yeah. No.
Exactly. So yeah, you get it.
They're not.
He
They're
gets
supposed
it.
to read books.
All
there.
right,
They
so
don't need
we'll
the
touch
internet.
on every game from this week. We'll obviously start with the Browns, who get things going with 0-1. And then on top of that, we've got the first results from our Fantasy on Ice challenge, and we'll see if anyone is willing to test the wheel again and throw back a player to draft somebody else. But before we get to any of that, just want to remind everybody that today's show is brought to you by Jim McConville at Helene Kia. For over 2 decades, salesman Jim McConville of Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road has been your trusted source for all new and used vehicles. With knowledge of the car buying industry and the experience you can trust, McConville makes sure the customer is satisfied, safe, and drives away in a car they can not only afford, but also enjoy. Visit him today at 27932 Lorraine Road in North Olmsted.
Love you,
Did you
Jim.
get the numbers that time, Mike? Yeah, we'll get an actual sign language interpreter.
I tried. I got
on
the
here,
two
not
and
one
the
of
two.
the people
I
that
got two
just
twos.
faked their way through it during COVID.
Ooh. You know what's funny? Those sign language interpreters could be lying
Well,
at every single
performative ones,
festival
yeah.
ever.
Like,
Who's gonna know? The people who can't.
Deaf people.
Yeah, the performative one. Who's gonna know? The deaf people can't speak no good. Nobody's gonna know.
They
You could
they
just be
can
doing this
speak.
the whole
It's just
time,
not always
and nobody's
legible.
gonna know a thing.
So they can't communicate, Mike.
Yeah. They speak in Braille.
This podcast is not brought to you by the ADA. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's move past that before this gets any worse. Let's start with the
What'd you say?
Browns, guys. Shut up. Let's start with the Browns. So, not surprising,
All right.
Browns lost,
We lost.
except
Let's
to
go.
Mike, who thought that they were going to pull it out. Yeah, no, they
You're
really
not
didn't.
wrong, but
Look, dude, one of us had to
You're
pick
wrong.
the Browns.
Well, thank you.
One of us had.
I appreciate that.
I
But
had to
that
follow
is the
him.
more surprising part,
I don't know
is
what
despite the
fucked
fact the Bengals were the much better team on paper going into this, 17-16 the final, and the Browns had, plenty of opportunities to win this game and ran into some of our old
Kick her away.
nemesis. That's what. Kicking
Nemesis.
problems again. Was it Andre Schmidt, who somehow has no vowels in his name? Yeah.
Yeah,
To say the
got up there
least,
and
man.
Schmidt
Obviously,
himself.
the PAT would have at least tied it and given the Browns a chance, and then missed the field goal at the end that allowed the Bengals to just ice the thing. Takeaways, guys. Again, a close game. I think closer than most people expected. But Mike, maybe start with you, man. Like, how'd you feel by the time this was all said and done? Because honestly, I feel like my emotions were all over the place.
I was sitting there on the couch with my fiance's family, and I'm into it. I get locked in. I get quiet. I get super focused on it. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Consummate
I don't want anybody to talk to me. I'm focused on the game. I'm trying to see everything that I possibly can. Doesn't matter what happens, I am pretty much silent, or I'm looking at my phone. The second they miss that extra point, which is really, I think, when most Browns fans, at least watching from home, went, this is where it happens. This is the part. She gets up and starts screaming and yelling, looking at me, going, "I fucking told you they're gonna lose. This is when they do it.
She
They always
normally
do this shit
saves that
every
passion for
fucking
board
time."
games and
I'm like,
nothing
"Oh
else.
shit,
So
you were the
that is
pants in
shocking.
this
Yeah.
whip on Sundays." It was great. I'm like, I miss football season because this is awesome. It was really hot. But anyway, so the second that happened, I think it was all downhill from there. At least on the offense side
Who
of
the
the
hell
ball,
the
because
Bengals?
obviously the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you'll get to it. You'll start listing off these stats. You can't slow them down. And I think we got reminded just how good our defense is when we're not 14 games into the season. They're exhausted, they're banged up because the offense can't move the ball. What I really like to see was that the offense, albeit
Set.
what do they call it in volleyball? When you pepper the ball? Is that it?
Set
When
it,
you
yeah.
kind of push it up, you pass it? You set? Okay, I thought it was peppering. But either way, when Judy set the ball, that was a pick, and when Tillman set the ball, that was a pick. Other than that, I liked what I saw on our offense. We were able
Mm-hmm.
to convert first downs. I don't like the run.
Well,
Obviously,
see,
that's an issue, but
right.
I wasn't looking for the run. We're missing Judkins. We're missing our running back. So I don't expect anything from that.
I was like,
But
I don't
yeah,
think
I was
Judkins
happy
coming
with it. Go
back is
ahead.
gonna
Somebody else go.
fix that run game if that's the case. 2 yards a carry across the board is horrendous. Like
See,
something else needs to change. It's
no,
not
you're
just
right.
Judkins gonna
And it's
come
the
in and fix
offensive
that.
line as well.
I
And don't forget, we lost Jack Conklin in this game,
Judkins is
which on the
such a
right
more
side of the
talented
line,
runner, though.
that's, generally where you're running the ball. So that doesn't help. The line is already getting older as is. But Judkins, and while I don't think we'll see it in week 2 because he's just getting into camp, is, in my opinion, at least far and away the best running back on the roster. So
Yeah.
I do think that will make a pretty sizable difference, but you're right. The line also has to change, specifically when it comes to run blocking. Pass pro, I don't think they look that bad. I think Flacco, being a statuesque-ish quarterback, had time. He is still shifty in the pocket. He's not, like Peyton Manning at the end of his career. Like, he can move a little bit. But the line did a pretty good job keeping him upright. But just physically, we do not have a strong offensive line. And that's not something that's just going to get fixed mid-season. So that's definitely an area of concern. That, and yeah, you got to get something in the running game. I liked the defense. Mike, I know you mentioned like late in the last year, the defense being exhausted. It really wasn't good from the beginning. They were playing
So
much
we
better
played
at
like
home.
garbage
Um,
against the Cowboys to start the season last year.
yeah,
And
which
this year we
the
look like a top 5 unit.
right. And like
That was
defense
rough.
ebbs and flows year over year, so I wasn't surprised that there was a little bit of a drop off from 23 to 24, but it became a liability, which was
Mhm.
incredible considering we didn't have any kind of like crazy player turnover or anything. It was mostly the same unit, and also Jim Schwartz, who I think was the bigger issue because he's just notoriously does not adjust his defenses as things go along. So the first time we got out there with the unit and people were kind of surprised by what he was tossing out, it looked good. And then, last year they kind of got the tape on his defensive sets.
Yeah.
Um,
We've seen the
hopefully
show
this is a
before.
good sign. What was that?
So they've seen that show before,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
multiple times with him. But hopefully this sticks. Again, in the back of my head, as good as the defense looked, it's impossible to get away from that narrative about the Bengals just never being able to start the season off well. They did change some things this year. The majority of their starters actually played in the preseason, including Joe Burrow. But it's just hard to completely shake of, like, was it the fact that the Bengals just can't play in September that the defense looked good, or is this unit legitimately actually back?
I mean, I would love to say they're actually back, but say correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this like the first time in 4 years that the Bengals have won Week 1, like since Joe Burrow's rookie season?
I think it's only the second time Zach Taylor has won within like the first
Oh
2
yeah,
weeks.
Zach Taylor's not Burrow.
It's
That's
bad.
right. But yeah, like
Yeah, isn't it like 2
Well, I
and
mean,
10?
they
Bengals
came in
record.
together, if I remember correctly. Right? It. No, I was just trying to remember if I think Taylor and Burrow started
Go
at the
ahead,
same time.
Brandon.
If anything, Burrow maybe had 1 year without him. But
Since Zach Taylor came in 2019, they are
Yeah.
1-11 prior to
Wow.
this past game in weeks 1 and 2.
Yeah.
uh,
They're back.
but I mean, so just in general, and like Mike,
They're
it
really
sounded like
back.
you were mostly positive. I'll kind of give the question to Patrick first. Just trying to separate it from the Bengals being on the other side of it. How do you feel about the team after 1 week? Just like everything encompassed based on like where you thought this roster and this team was going to be versus now heading into again week 2 against Baltimore, but let's even remove that. Just going into your average matchup next week, how are you feeling now versus preseason?
I'm feeling like the team is going to end up a lot closer to the high end that you and I both thought they would get to of mediocre than bottom of the barrel team. I'm feeling a lot more confident that, we might hit the 7 or 8 wins this season. Obviously, not the first, 5 weeks where we play all playoff teams from last year. Like, yeah, that's going to shoot us in the
It's
foot
gonna
and it
suck.
might screw us in the long run. But in a vacuum, the way that they played, I feel like they are much closer to a 500 team than the first overall pick.
Mike, any different? You were the not that any of us were particularly positive on the Browns before the beginning of the year, but you were the low man on the totem pole. Has that changed?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to change for me because, again, I was at the bottom of the totem pole. I had zero expectations, but they go out there and, again, we can move the ball. What Flacco had, he looked good. You can tell me because I do know Flacco's 40 years old. He didn't look like a 40-year-old out there. I really enjoyed what I saw. Does he keep that up? Does, once the cold weather starts coming
That
in,
arthritis
do
start
his bones start
creeping
to
up
get
on
brittle?
him.
Does he slow down a little bit? Do those passes stop working for him? Maybe. But from just looking at week 1, we were able to move the ball. I love to see. Again, the Bengals are going to bangle, but don't forget, the Browns also going to brown. And we're notorious for terrible every single game of every year. So the defense obviously showed up. The offense, I think, showed up to the best of our ability, which isn't, the greatest ability, but it's an ability. We should be 1-0, but we're not. I like what I saw. I can see us finishing, and it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm not like, we're top 10, but we're mid to, I'd say we're like a mid-20 team. Like, put us at like the 25th best team. I thought we were going to be 31. I thought we were
And I
going to be
think
the
I
second
think
worst,
where a lot of that came from
right
was
in front
obviously
of the
watching
Saints.
last
We're
year,
better than
right? But what we forget is that while there's been roster turnover, a lot of that playoff run team that was there with Flacco is still around. And a lot of those guys have just gotten better or at least have more experience. So like the roster is there. We were kind of had a little bit of the haze of the Browns always just find a way to fall apart. And then again, last year is a bad example, starting the year with Watson, the vibes and the culture were just completely shot immediately. And I think what we saw was that team ultimately giving up just across the board, with the exception of that short stretch when Jameis came in, and even that didn't last forever. Like they felt like he gave them a chance for a little bit, and then by the end, their team started figuring Jameis out. He started doing Jameis things, and everyone was just trying to get to Cancun by the end of the year. But yeah, so it's all there. We still have stability from the coaching staff. I know some people have soured on Kevin Stefanski, but if we were going in with a brand new coach again, or if we had any of the 75 coaches in our lifetime in this spot rather than Stefanski, then I do think we could be looking at a wheels fall off situation. Look at what's going on in Miami right now. And I don't, and we'll get to it as well. I don't want to shit on Mike McDaniel too much because he did some very good things there, but he's completely lost that locker room. And despite the fact that Miami, I think overall has a better roster than Cleveland and a better roster than a lot of other teams in the NFL, I would not be surprised if they end up finishing as the worst. I said them, the Saints, and then I know I'm missing one or two, but like they were in that conversation for sure to finish at the bottom. So good. Yeah, we'll we'll get to the Dolphins. A couple other things on the Browns, Mike. I know you were big on this. I talked about him in our draft process a lot with Keon, but Bowling Green legend Harold Fannin Jr. Very love the. Did not expect him to end up on the Browns to begin with because obviously we do have Njoku, but Kevin Stefanski likes those 2 tight end sets, and they were getting creative getting him out there. They want the ball in his hands, which is a great sign for someone playing his first NFL game. They had him running out of the Wildcat, if you guys didn't see it. So, yeah, and even I don't know if that's the solution. Like, I don't think that's how Fannon's going to be the most productive, but if your tight end, too, is a willing blocker and a downfield threat, especially in Stefanski's offense, that is absolutely dangerous because then all of a sudden you're like 11 personnel sets, or it might be 21 personnel, I always get it mixed up, where you're essentially, it's a run set where you have 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends. For most teams, that's like 2 receiving options at most. You've got 3 legitimate threats out there. I can absolutely see what they've seen in Fannin.
That makes me feel so much better about the question mark of our receiving room. Like,
Yes.
yeah, Jerry Jeudy's a proven above
I
average
still like
receiver,
Jeudy,
nothing
yeah.
crazy. And then Cedric Tillman had that 4 or 5 game stretch where he was a stud last year and then was out with concussion. No one saw him coming back. And no one saw, him coming back and being as good as that. But having Fannin and Njoku there in basically every play, because they run the 2 tight ends set like 60% of the time.
It's a big thing with him because again, that goes all the way back to the Gary Kubiak offense, which is always like a heavier set. You're rarely going to have 3 wide receivers out there. Yeah. And I'm not giving up on Tillman yet either because
no, absolutely not. He had a good game.
Yeah, he still had a good game, and like he tailed off again at the end of last year after the injury, but he started doing well when he had Jameis Winston in there. And while they're different quarterbacks, both Jameis and Flacco are big arm, push the ball down the field quarterbacks, which was always Tillman's game, even back in Tennessee. So
don't get me wrong, I wasn't saying like, oh, he's not going to be good. It was just you didn't know if he was
the most solid
receiving
room. But again, if Fannin can develop, and he's not there yet, but if Fannin can develop into what we think he could be, Njoku's obviously top 5-ish tight end in the league right now. I'm much less worried about that unit than I am, again, the running backs, which
or top 10. But yeah.
I think it just starts with understanding Jerome Ford at best is a backup running back, and we really need to stop featuring him.
Dude,
that's what I was going to say earlier. Jerome Ford is just not that good of a running back.
Because we had no one else.
Not. I don't understand why. I can't pick apart our run game until I see Judkins back there.
I do legitimately think if Judkins was there from the beginning, he would have been the starting running back.
Yes, 100%.
Stefanski needed somebody they knew he could trust. Sampson is a good utility kind of back. Yes, and that, again, back to Tennessee, weirdly enough, was always his game. He's a speedster. He's great at catching the ball out of the backfield. He's not a bell cow, and he's a rookie. So we did not feel comfortable putting the ball in his hands that much. And I think Rocket Sanders kind of ran into the same thing, where he got that little bit of goal line work. He got the 1 touchdown and then was never seen from again. Stefanski just wanted a running back that he knew wasn't going to lose the game for him. So hopefully, I'll give it by week 3. If Judkins is not a featured back by then, I'll be a little bit more concerned. Because there's not a ton of learning curve coming in.
I'm worried the fact that our longest rush of the day was 5 yards.
Yeah.
Like that, I know, the running backs could be part of that problem, but that says a lot about the offensive line as well.
No, yeah, the line is a concern, and we, again, already have injuries. Can we please, and I have nothing against the guy personally, we got to be done with Jack Conklin. Every year, it's week 1 or week 2, it feels like, another injury, and then he never really goes on IR. He kind of hangs around, gets a snap here or there, and then goes out again. He was a great right tackle 4 years ago. Yeah, and honestly, even when he has been healthy lately, he's deteriorated. He's not the same player anymore. So that needs to be addressed. We did not do a good job addressing offensive line in the draft either. Which is why I love Dylan Sampson, but was very surprised when we took him right after taking Quinshon Judkins the round before. But either way, a couple other notes on this game. Jamar Chase, we talked about the defense, only 2 receptions. So time for fantasy owners to start hitting the panic button.
Yep, drop him.
Yeah,
everybody drop him.
Do everyone a favor, drop him. Yeah,
put
him up for grabs. Put him on the trade block. Nothing else.
That bidding war in leagues with Fab would be hysterical. Like, how would you figure it out? Everyone would put $100 on him. Like, does that just go to normal waiver wire
order.
priority?
Oh, it goes in the waiver. It goes to priority. Yeah. Whoever's got the
You
worst
just get a-
record and worst
Can't
amount of
pick up
points.
any free agents the rest of the year.
Mark.
Nope. I'm honestly to pick up Jamar.
You
I'd
go
do it.
negative into it.
Oh, Don,
You
this
can't
guy's
bid on
Mark
anybody
Paper
else.
can't touch anybody else.
No, you go into debt, so you actually have to
Fuck.
like give up a certain amount of players every time you want to pick one up until you get back to zero.
You take a loan from other players in the league.
Yeah,
I
man.
had to trade away Bijan Robinson for Fab Budget.
Yeah, take my player that actually qualifies to be on injured
Oh
reserve.
shit. And don't worry, guys. Again, tough week. Almost won that. We get the Ravens next, which we'll hit it with our pick'ems. But Ravens maybe coming off a little bit of a hangover after that insane game, or maybe they'll be pissed off.
I
We'll
feel
find
like he's
out.
going to be pissed off. Yeah.
Don't even
I say
let
that
it
they're-
milk
they're
before fucking
probably.
talk. They're gonna kick this.
No, but
coming
there's
back.
there's going to be talking
Oh,
head
no.
like,
Come on.
oh, but we're gonna surprise them, or we're gonna.
No.
And
No, we're
to
not.
be fair, there is precedence in this. Do not forget, last year, Ravens lost an incredibly close game by a cleat to the Chiefs, came back and lost to the Raiders, who won 4 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, anything's possible.
Harbaugh's good
but
for one of those games a year.
That's true.
Again, I'm
But
not
the Raiders
picking
aren't the
it by
Browns.
any means, but it's going to be a talking point. That's all I'm saying. We're not going to be that podcast, but they will exist. Probably on your
I say
very
let-
own local radio waves.
that cleat losing by a cleat last year, that was not them giving up a 15-point lead in 4 minutes.
That's true. That is true. And I've
So-
got a stat about that later as well, by the way. What was that?
Agree to disagree.
Well deserving.
If we were giving it out for this year,
motherfucking
yes,
king.
Josh Allen
Not
is the
Lamar
MVP.
Jackson. Josh Allen.
In 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 in your playbooks, number
Yeah.
2 in the MVP
It's fine.
race. Josh Allen.
you know, some people know ball.
He just keeps winning. All right. Around the league. So we'll start off with the game that was, or 2 games actually, that were before the Browns actually took the field. Thursday night opener, Cowboys 20, Eagles 24. All of us had taken the Eagles to win this one, but tell me if I'm wrong. Cowboys kind of surprised me. I know Jalen Carter not being in the game was a massive difference maker. If you guys somehow haven't seen this yet, first off, first play of the game, player has to get carted off the field. Football's back. Let's go. Yeah.
This
But
poor guy,
while
he got
that's
carted off
going
the
on,
field
while
last
this
year,
man
too.
is literally being tended to and his season is
Back-to-back.
over,
Back-to-back seasons.
In the
the
DeMar
offense
Hamlin
and
ambulance.
not quite the memorial ambulance. Can he call it memorial? He did die for a while.
The DeMar.
I don't know.
The DeMar Hamlin revival ambulance.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You can call it memorial. The guy died.
It's just
On the
DeMar
field.
Hamlin with like
He put
Phoenix
his
wings
body
on
and
the
soul
side of
into
it,
this.
painted in that like 80s van style.
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious. It's like a big red. He's definitely got a
God
bald
intended.
eagle on his
But
shoulder.
anyway,
too.
so both teams are out there. It's the Cowboys offense, Eagles defense. They're all just kind of huddled up. The general direction of Jalen Carter,
You know,
and
he
is
said
already
some
like
shit,
smirking
too.
at him. They're jawing at each other. It's fairly obvious. But then Jalen Carter takes it one step a little bit too far and spits on Dak Prescott, and is subsequently ejected from the game before it even starts. He's hilarious, and immediately all
He's
of
very
the
funny.
like Georgia
He's
bad
very
boy
funny for that.
shit started coming out. Jalen Carter's been relatively non-problematic since getting into the league.
That's his car issues.
Hey, what the
That
fuck
was in
are
college.
you
He
talking
hadn't
about?
made
He
it to the
killed his
league yet.
best friend in a car accident. Yeah, okay, so now we're cherry picking. Yeah, after
Yes.
he totally sped
It's-
away from killing
he
his
didn't
best
spit on
friend. He's been great.
I say, if you're a fan of the
He's a real
NFL, you have no
stand-up guy,
morals.
man. Other than the
Yeah, I was
murder.
gonna
But
say.
he's an asshole just about in the NFL.
Yeah, once you get to the league and you're good, nobody cares. When was the last time
Yeah.
somebody brought up Joe Mixon's past? And he was convicted.
Robert Kraft.
They can't get rid of him until he starts messing with other owners' money. You know that. We've tried.
I mean, you can throw out a lot of names.
Anyway.
Rashid.
That too.
I don't know.
But again, Mixon was convicted.
That's still up there. That's still around.
Is the thing. Anyway, let's not go down that road. But either way, Jalen Carter, despite being a menace to society, is also a very important part of that Eagles defense. And boy, like the Cowboys, especially early, were able to run the ball all over them, which is not something we saw at all against Philadelphia last year. Javonte Williams, 2 touchdowns. Hit the easiest over-under of all time. I think it was set at like 34 yards.
Because we get 49?
No, we got like 70-something.
Was it really that much?
Oh, yeah. They ran. He was the feature back. They had Miles Sanders spelling him every once in a while as well.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But
you know what? Draw back.
Miles Sanders.
I would say Miles Sanders is better.
He's not a good running back. That's my comparison. Miles Sanders was an offensive line.
Panthers, yeah.
And then he went to Carolina and got.
Ford will at least take care of the ball. Miles Sanders, that was a big reason they ended up losing this game. Cowboys. Sanders fumbling late in that one. Yeah.
No, it was on the 15-yard line too. They were right there.
But
they would have at least.
So the Cowboys' offensive line looked good. Run game looked good. The 3 Tylers that they have in there. It's a younger offensive line now, which we're not used to saying for the Cowboys. But overall, I mean, Eagles once again, despite not having Carter in there, look like a machine. The game after that weird lightning delay was also pretty much over. Again, I know it was only a 4-point game by the end of it, but I don't think anything was scored when the teams came back. They just clamped down. That defense does what it does, and the Cowboys just really not able to get anything going after that. So, again, tell me if you guys think any different. The Eagles look about as good as we thought they were going to be, but Cowboys maybe going to surprise some people this year.
Divisional games are weird, so you got to account that as well.
Yes.
CD dropping balls was really weird. Going back to that lightning storm, thunderstorm, whatever you want to call it, that definitely sucked the soul out of it. That sucked the energy out of that stadium. On top of everything, we talked about Jalen Carter missing that game.
He did play. It didn't
AJ
show,
Brown?
but yeah, he was there.
We want to address.
He was in the game the whole time.
Yeah, getting a target, a reception. Do we want to address that? Either there was something that I wasn't seeing. I didn't have the all-22 vision where I could see the entire field. He was either getting locked down, or I think he walked in. I think he went in with some sort of like a little bit of an injury, something like that. I'm wondering if that is a little bit more serious.
Jalen only had
than the
23 attempts
because that's weird.
The people that he targeted the most were Goddard and Barkley.
This isn't the first time with AJ though. He's very game plan dependent, and that's not. Again, I don't really think it's his fault. I think because he's never really there's always been I feel like anonymous source reports that there's infighting with him and Jalen Hurts and stuff, but he's never publicly complained about anything. It seems like he is legitimately willing to do whatever for the team to win. You didn't hear him bitching after having just that one target last week.
So I think it may have just.
Go ahead.
I'd say the offensive coordinator is part of the Arthur Smith coaching tree. AJ Brown was this week's decoy.
Yeah. So I think that's all. I think it was just a game plan, and I'm also not gonna freak out about it because again, are we worried about Jamar Chase? 2 targets in what's considered a much more high octane passing offense than what the Eagles are, who are gonna run the ball down your throat again, throw it short, run it with Hurts too. They did what they had to do to win that game, and I think we're going to see a lot of that from the Eagles. I don't know if you're going to see a ton of blowouts from them, but they're going to beat a lot of teams by 5 to 10 points a week.
Yes, and I never felt that they were in contention to lose that game. I feel like the Jalen Carter missing...
The Cowboys went up early. They looked like they might be able to hang, but yeah.
But then the Eagles were they made an adjustment to not having Carter. It's okay, this is what we need to do to stop him, and then nothing happened for the Cowboys the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's not something where you can just next man up mentality and
No.
have them just do what Carter does. So you're right. They did have to readjust that defense, and especially after that lightning delay,
Yeah.
they definitely installed something that worked out much better because Carter is such a one-man wrecking crew. You just set him and forget him. But so again, good job by the Eagles for adjusting to that. I think if they have Jalen Carter, this is a multiple possession game, but still. We'll see. It'll be an interesting division. Let's go ahead and move into the next game, though, in Brazil. Chiefs 21, Chargers 27. Not often that we see the Chiefs losing close games like this. Again, 15-2 last year. And I will continue saying it, the worst 15-win team I've ever seen, but they did still make it to the Super Bowl, all things considered. So let's start on the Chiefs side, because there was plenty of good to like on the Chargers side of it, but are we hitting the panic button yet? It seemed like Mahomes, again, looked sluggish. Travis Kelce did have a touchdown, but he looks a little bit more the same from last year. Who is it? Why can't I think of his name? Rasheed suspended. Now, Xavier Worthy hurt early in that game. Some early injuries for the Chiefs.
I mean,
So when they're playing from behind, who are they supposed to give the ball to? That's what I'm looking at. The team, it's just they're strapped for receivers right
Juju's
now.
there.
Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster are their wide receiver 1 and 2. And Travis Kelce, of course. Like, you have an aging Kelce, you have an aging Juju, who really wasn't good. Who wasn't great, I should say great. Who wasn't great after he left the Steelers. And Hollywood Brown, I mean, the dude got 16 targets. So they just force-fed him the ball, shoved it down his throat. Mahomes does look still spiraling downwards. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. He doesn't look right. It looks like he lost a pep in his step. And just to kind of cap off the offense here with like the backfield with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. Pacheco had good runs, but they were playing from behind all game, so we didn't really get to see him do very much. I'm pretty sure
it was like
he
5
had
yards
a
or something.
good yards per carry if you want to get into statistics. But you're playing from behind, so we're not going to run the ball. That's not what we use you for. We need to throw. We need to play catch up. So I mean, I'm worried about it. They're the Chiefs, so they'll probably be fine. But
I mean,
I'm worried about that offense.
yes, in the fact that, like you said, at the moment they are now strapped for wide receivers, but it doesn't seem like the injury to Worthy is going to be that serious. So he'll be back.
Yeah, he
maybe
might
a
be
week
back
or
as
two.
soon as this week.
Yeah,
Potentially.
Seriously? I thought he was
as of
definitely
yesterday,
missing. I
it
thought,
was
like,
still
he
not
dislocated
official that he
and
was
fucked up
out.
ligaments
Point
in
being,
his
like, he's
shoulder.
not completely shelved yet. He's probably not playing this week. I'd be surprised. But they're at least still entertaining it.
And then, Rasheed's coming back soon. So, like, yeah, these first couple weeks might be rough. Obviously, putting up 21 points doesn't look great. Again, though, they're in Sao Paulo. They've never played there. The travel time's probably longer than anything they've done before. I'm not too worried about it. And the Chargers just look better. So.
And I'll get to the Chargers in a second. But, yeah, ultimately, I do think the Chiefs will be fine, as much as it hurts to say that. A couple things to consider. One, obviously, the receivers. Like, as great as Mahomes is, he's always had somebody reliable, whether that's like Prime Kelce, Tyreek Hill, whatever it might be. He can't make, chicken salad out of chicken shit, as good as he is. Like, he can still win games, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to be able to do Mahomesian things without somebody to open the field up. And then while I think the offensive line will be better this year, because it was not good last season, it was also a largely new unit this week. They did not play well. I do think that'll improve as time goes on, which is another thing that will really help Mahomes, because you give him any amount of time, and that's when he's going to be able to start carving you up. He is not a great methodical short game passer like a Jared Goff. He needs some time for things to kind of develop and improvise and do wonky shit that defenses aren't ready for. So all of that to say, it was still off-putting to see them lose a game that was only one possession, and until the very end when Herbert iced it with his run, I still thought the Chiefs were going to find a way to fucking do it. They had that long touchdown for Kelsey. Was it Hollywood Brown? I believe he hit going the same side of the field for like a 40-yard gain.
Yeah.
The drive after that, like it felt like here we go again. Chargers are going to charger. Chiefs are going to find a way to do this. And man, let's give credit where credit is due. The Chargers, if I'm wrong about them, they were my one of my AFC West teams that I had not making the playoffs just because of how tough the division is. But man, if they keep up what they did in that game, they are fucking terrifying.
Yeah. That offense looked good.
The training wheels are off of Justin Herbert, which is, and they weren't always on. When Harbaugh came in, he wanted to play Harbaugh ball and just run the shit out of the ball, and they're still going to do that. But I think having Amari and Hampton in there now rather than J.K. Dobbins kind of forced them to go to the running game more, or maybe it was just his idea. I'm not sure. But Justin Herbert in that offense, when he's allowed to just sling it, looked incredible.
Agreed, yeah. Go ahead, Mike, sorry.
Yeah, big time. No, he couldn't be stopped. No, it's just he is who everybody hyped to play his own type of football. Like, and by his own, I mean just freestyle. Go have fun, man. You're the most talented. You're the second most talented quarterback on that field. You're probably the most talented quarterback. I don't know, 90%.
He was the most talented quarterback that
You're Justin
game.
fucking Herbert. You're very good at football. Do your thing. Let's stop trying to control him. Yeah, and you get to actually enjoy him and watch him play well. It's refreshing to see that, because you look at him every single year. He chokes. He does something bad. He does something poorly. It happened in the playoffs the one year. It's like, stop trying to control. Just let him play. Let him play. That guy.
The one thing I am worried about is there's no way in hell that Quentin Johnston continues to do what he did. Like, he's so been
back.
Trash his entire career.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, Patrick. There's no way. What do you have? 2 touchdowns. I forget exactly what his yardage was.
5 catches, 79 yards, and 2 tuts.
Yeah, I don't think he stays like that consistent. But if he can do that just for a handful of games, and then that opens up the field for McConkey, who is that just possession, find the open spot kind of receiver, that's a completely different kind of offense, because then he suddenly has much more room to operate. Mm-hmm. They made the playoffs last year with a rookie lad who really didn't get it. Like, he was good all year, but really turned it on towards the end. And they had nothing else. Like, no one else to get the ball to. Now, if Quentin's even a little bit of a reliable option, suddenly teams have to respect that a little more. And that's where I think this is all going to kind of unlock. Where, like, that team got to the playoffs last year, and Harbaugh ball doesn't work if you get down in a game. It's tough to run the ball 75% of the time, throw short passes all the time, and then suddenly have to open it up. If you're always just going full throttle and can push the ball like throughout the game, it's a lot easier to keep the momentum than it is to start pushing that boulder. So, and obviously the defense played very well on top of that, considering it was the Chiefs. Again, they had held him to... They only had 15 points, I think, going like halfway through the fourth quarter. Like, they were playing very well, and then Mahomes started doing Mahomes things towards the end. But yeah, again, overall, I'm impressed with the Chargers. Chiefs, I think, will end up being okay, but I'm a little nervous about having the Chargers miss the playoffs now. Now, 3 teams in that division still ended up winning, so we'll see how it ends up shaking out. But let's move forward to a little bit less of an exciting game, but maybe just as surprising as one. Dolphins 8, Colts 33. Again, Dolphins were one of my candidates of team that may just fall apart. Vibes are in shambles. Coach gets fired, before the bye week. Boy, that's looking very viable. Danny Dimes carved them the fuck up. If I'm saying that about your team... Sorry, Dan Dimes.
Dan Dimes.
Dan Dimes. Yeah. Dan Dimes. He has matured.
He has a 401k.
Being called Danny.
He now goes Dan to the Hooters Dimes. Across the street from the RCA Dome for the chicken wings. Not just for the views. Yeah.
He grew up. No. He decided he's now a craft beer man. Loves smoking meats in the backyard. Lo- Dude only owns Reeboks with grass stains on them and wears cargo shorts with
Man,
tightly
before
fit
I like to
polos.
imagine that he was just college frat dad, really partying up there out in New York. He just needed to get to Indy, where it's a little quieter. Got a nice little piece of farmland where he can run around.
Yeah.
But anyway, like
Burn off that extra energy.
so like the Dolphins they looked completely out of sync from the beginning. Tua did not look good. Waddle is already hurt. Tyreek Hill was already in danger of checking out on this team early. And it looks like he may have already begun the process. We talked about it. Their offensive and defensive lines, they have just refused to address these last few seasons, and that absolutely killed them. Just not a lot of good things to say about Miami. What was that, Mike? Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, which that's the thing.
Almost
Tua
literally.
played this
Tua's almost
entire
died
game,
multiple
and they
times.
were still never in it. That was always, I feel like, the saving grace. Like Dolphins fans going in, it's like, well, yeah, when Tua's healthy, he's a pretty decent quarterback. Like he can win us some games. What
Not
was
this
your
time.
excuse today? It was not good.
Oh, dude, I was hearing some people reporting that just I don't know how to word it right, but basically because he's been concussed so many times and his brain is just mush, he can't process as fast anymore. So he's just very quickly
You got that
declining,
Caleb Williams
very
dyslexia
quickly
now,
getting
yeah.
worse and worse as time goes. Because yeah, I mean, when Tua like 2 or 3 years ago, when Tua was healthy, he's good. He was good. You could rely on him, but I mean, fucking three
Top of his
deadly
head, too.
concussions off the top of my head that he has, like your brain just starts to go. Yeah, it's not at a
It is
steady
Yeah, you
decline.
generally
When
don't
you get more
improve
concussions,
after
it
one.
goes straight down, dude.
Well, that would be funny if a mediocre quarterback gets a concussion and
Yeah,
just
I mean, you
suddenly
might
comes
not
back
remember.
and
Just
starts
becomes
tearing
a
it up.
savant.
Someone check on Daniel Jones' concussion history.
Did that happen to Bryce Young last year? Isn't that how Bryce Young started playing better?
Now he knows French, and he knows
just
how to read a
got
cover
fucking
too. It's
knocked
crazy.
out and came back. God, dude, Olave's about
Poor
to be Superman out
Olave,
there.
man.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
oh God. Well,
That dude's gonna have a historical season. That guy
it wasn't
just
even his
needs to
fault this
retire or
time.
get
Man.
the
We'll
fuck
get
out
to
of
that. We got the
New
Cardinals
Orleans.
on here too, but not much else to talk about with this game, man. Other than if you haven't seen it by now, Danny Dimes, the first quarterback or first team since 2000 to score points on every single drive.
That's bonkers.
Every drive. Again, Andrew Luck did not do
Very
that
impressive.
for the Colts. Peyton Manning did not do that for the Colts. Dan Dimes.
Yeah. Tom Brady didn't do it for the
Fraud.
Patriots.
Dan
At no point, none of the
Dimes.
quarterbacks we grew up with
Nope.
were able to pull it off. But
Dan
our
Dimes
savior,
is
Dan
one
Dimes.
piece of ass.
Last thing I'll toss to you guys: Tyreek Hill trade targets. Let's the cap. I think it
I
doesn't
mean,
exist, so I don't. Not gonna take that.
honestly, I wouldn't
Chiefs.
be
It'd
surprised
be really
if the
funny if he
Chiefs
went to the Chiefs.
tried to get him back.
No, he looks so weird in the Chiefs uniform. I don't know if they do
But
it.
I at the same time, I feel like he's gonna pull an Antonio Brown mixed with the Forrest Gump type situation. Instead of like taking off his jersey and then leaving the field, he's just gonna go on a deep route and just run right out of the
Just
tunnel
keep
in the
going.
middle of the game. Yeah. Oh no! He's just gonna run. He
That's
doesn't.
gonna hit him in the
catch
back of the
touchdown
helmet
pass. He's
and
just
keep
gonna
going.
He's not even gonna look. He's just eyes
just gonna
forward,
run
tunnel
right into
vision
the
to the tunnel.
Right into the
He's gonna
tunnel.
run straight to Tampa.
That's literally an entire team of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, but
If I were a playoff team, and I'm not, I would probably be the Bills or the Ravens and just throw money at him. I would just throw money at him, whatever I have. Be like, hopefully this puts us over the top,
Keon's
especially the
looking real
Bills.
good.
I know Keon Coleman's looking better this year, and we'll get to that. That game's later on. But like Tyreek over there, if Tyreek has like an
Tyreek
Antonio
and
Brown
Josh
ishness
Allen.
when he went to the Buccaneers,
Oh.
and it's like, holy shit, Antonio Brown's there.
Just the deep ball over and over.
Can you imagine that? It's like having Tyreek and Patty
I thought you were
Mahomes,
gonna say
except
better.
your quarterback is 1,000 times more athletic. It has like
Jesus
another-
Christ. Yeah, but I think we can all. I don't think he ends the year as a Dolphin unless he
No,
like gets hurt
absolutely
and
not.
has to get stashed or something. All right, so enough of that. So game that we all expected to be a high-scoring affair. Steelers 34, Jets 32.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm pretty sure the over-under for this was like 41. We obviously hit that. Rodgers and Justin Fields both looking good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking
Crazy.
of just
You
letting
don't
your quarterback play,
inundate Justin Fields with
funny how that works.
too much in his poor little brain there, and then you let Rodgers, actually go out and run the offense. They both look good.
It's like the guy knows what he wants to do. I'm going to trust the Hall of Fame quarterback to know exactly what he's doing. I just am. I know he's ayahuasca.
Well, and I'm the last one that's going to
smart.
give
He
Aaron
knows
Rodgers
ball.
credit for anything, but keep in mind too, he did that without a running game, which I do think is a major concern for the Steelers. They could not move the ball on the ground
No, it was
at all.
bad.
Jalen Warren as the feature back, who I think everyone's been waiting to kind of take this over, not able to penetrate.
37 yards.
Caleb Johnson had about the worst possible debut. I believe it was one rush, -3 yards, and then a kick return fumble. The 2 times he touched the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and I
well,
like
no, he had
Iowa,
5
but
kick returns.
Okay, so
It was just the first 2 times he touched the ball.
okay, so it was just nerves, just the
Yeah.
jitters.
Yeah, that's all. And I guess, like
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel said, there's nowhere to go but up. You know?
That's true, but
It's hard
Before
to
we
get
get too far
worse
off of that,
than that.
I almost forgot. Do you guys remember the crazy ass Mike McDaniel quote that he had during the preseason that kind of set everyone off on this Dolphins tangent? On
no.
1 second. It was dark
Probably
as
not,
fuck.
but you should repeat it.
Let's see.
We are prepared. We were prepared, gang. We've got it.
There it is.
He's just
So
digging through
during
his
a press
notes right
conference,
now.
the reporter greeted
He's
McDaniel by
looking,
saying
he's
good
looking.
morning. And then McDaniel replied or corrected him and said it's a great morning. When asked why, Mike McDaniel said because we're another day closer to death. That sounds like someone that does not want to be there.
That guy fucking rules.
I get it,
guy's
man.
such
This
a
was a
millennial,
month
it's
ago,
insane.
by the way. So like they were,
It's
Yeah, he
only
knew.
gotten worse.
he knew. That's gonna every time the Dolphins lose, we're just gonna get the graphic of Mike McDaniel. We're another day closer to death.
1 day closer to death.
But anyways, Steelers Jets. So yeah,
Let's
Rodgers
go.
again
Get
looked
hype.
good despite the fact that it was a very one-dimensional offense. The Steelers are going to find a way to hang like they always do. The Jets still though, 32 points. Fields did have a running game, and obviously he has the threat of running himself. Breece Hall finally looks like he's being utilized.
Yeah, they let him run.
Insane.
It's crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
What was it you would say all the time last year, Mike? Just give
Nuts.
Breece the
Wait,
ball in
Braylon
space.
Allen's not taking his job.
yes.
What's that?
And lo and behold,
Give him the ball in space. He'll figure it out. That's all you need to do. Lo and behold, Braylon Allen taking his job. You just had to get Breece Hall the ball in space.
Which
You
wasn't
have to
that good
fucking
last
help him
year
out
for
and not just go, hey, run up the line.
But so the only thing I will
Run
say,
it.
both of the defenses looked a little bit suspect, which is interesting because I think they were both projected to be decent units going into the year. But the secondary specifically, not great. So I do want to see what these teams do going forward. Maybe just the defenses were that bad and Fields isn't as good as we thought. Maybe Rodgers will struggle a little bit if they can't run the ball. But at the end of the day, I was impressed with both of them. Despite the fact that you lost, there's no moral victories, whatever. You got to be happy as a Jets fan because I think they had the 3rd lowest Super Bowl odds going into the year, which I always thought was a little low, but they showed that they can hang, and they showed this isn't going to be just a dink and dunk boring offense that's not going to lose you games, but certainly not going to win them either. They looked competent.
Nothing.
He has not looked great. He is
No.
they're throwing at him
Didn't
again
really
now, and he
catch much
struggled
of
a lot of last year
No.
too,
Yeah.
which again, just I don't want to look too much into last year with Salah on his way out the door. Kind of like the Browns, it felt like things just were slipping early. But
Yeah,
not a good start for him this year either. So hopefully he fixes it. Cornerbacks do kind of go through their lulls from time to time. So I'm not giving up on him, but he's definitely not the like surefire number 1 in the league corner that we thought he was going to be.
Yeah. Well, I thought I saw they were going to start trying to put him on like the wide receiver ones and just have him focus on playing on the wide receiver ones. And it looked like DK, other than like a circus catch where the ball landed on his chest, it looked like he didn't really.
No,
He
he was
was
moving around
big
more
game,
than
like
that
a
still.
good game. It was a pretty
Like Sauce did get burned a couple times,
mediocre
yeah.
game.
Again, not an awful
well,
game, but not like again,
Yes.
not number one shutdown, Revis Island
Not all
2.0.
pro right out of the gate, Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, like we're now at the point where Derek Stingley is probably considered a better corner than Sauce out of that draft class, which is nuts to think about now. Any other notes though, Jets Steelers before we move on, guys?
Yeah.
No,
No. I can draw comparisons to what I said about Herbie. You let the quarterback
Yes,
play, and he's
or
good.
like the
You
Steelers
didn't put
did.
Justin Fields in a box like the Bears did.
True. And he did not play bad for the Steelers either.
He didn't, but
Steel-
no, Tomlin didn't
for
let
Steelers?
Justin Fields
They
do
just never
what
have
he's
faith.
best at in
Go
the
ahead,
run.
Patrick.
He was just like, no, stay in the pocket, throw the ball. And Fields did that,
Mhm.
average. He was okay. But if he had opened that up to a run game, I don't think Russ would have played a single game last year.
What was Arthur Smith?
There was never any trust for Fields. He was winning games,
you're right.
and they still called him for
the idea
Russ.
was always to
There
start
was
Russ,
never trust
who
with.
was not good, and is still not good. Which we're coming up to that soon. Panthers 10, Jaguars 26. I don't have too much on this other than Bryce Young looks like a pumpkin again. Jaguars defense is good. They're definitely not elite.
Etienne looked
but
fucking incredible.
Travis Etienne, man, we forgot about Etienne, as the lyrics go. Just flows off the tongue.
Yeah. He's not hurt. He's fucking back.
He
Tank
lost his
Bigsby is not taking his job. In fact, Tank Bigsby is out of Pounces. He's
Howie Roseman
gone.
did it again,
He's
man.
a fucking eagle now.
Yeah, I don't know if they were waiting for that game to see if they
How
wanted to
we
ship
do
Tank
it.
off. I think they kind of knew going in, like after preseason, that ETN was going to be the guy.
And they basically have the same running back in Tootin as they had in Bigsby.
Right. But either way, I'm glad ETN's back. I liked him a lot. He's been around for a while now. I think he was the same draft class as Najee
21.
Harris, who we're now looking at it as on the back end of his career. But
It's been 5 years.
ETN looks like he's still got some life left in him. Yeah, Liam Cohen, by the way, and shout out to Trevor Lawrence, did look better than I think we've been giving him credit for. I know me and Mike specifically have not been big Trevor Lawrence guys. And he does still have to prove his worth as that number one overall generational prospect that he was touted as, but played a good game.
He's how do I put this?
Yes.
He's not a bust, but he's
There
a
are
bust
that's
for where he
15
was
teams
picked.
in the league
That's who
who
he
would
is.
want him as a quarterback.
And I don't think that's anything groundbreaking.
Only 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a
I'd take
groundbreaking
him
statement.
at this point.
But
Yeah,
only
we're
15.
one of the
Yeah,
15.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Chiefs aren't taking him.
Oh, yeah.
Chargers
That's
aren't
true.
They
taking
wanted
him.
him. Yeah.
Panthers aren't taking him. Bryce Young's going to figure it out. Last note, not much else to talk about from this game. Travis
This is
Hunter
the year.
primarily played on offense. I think he had 3 snaps on the defensive side. Especially as a rookie, I figured they were probably going to focus on him as a receiver and then get him worked in. But then Liam Cohen, this threw me off. New head coach, only the second Jaguars coach to be over 500 at any point in their career.
That's disgusting.
Just him and Tom Coughlin, the
disgusting.
first coach of the Jaguars.
Yes. Yeah, back when they had David Gerard and they were good.
That's
Yeah.
so terrible.
Been a minute. Was Jones Drew there with Coughlin, or was that after? I think it was after. Whatever.
I actually
Not-
no. I think I got Coughlin there too early. I don't
Couldn't
think
help it.
Coughlin was
Coughlin
there
was the
with Gerard.
first coach.
Was it? Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind. I got it right. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I think
he opened
Coughlin was in New York with Jones when Jones Drew was in
Okay, yeah, so it was after
because
this.
he was with Eli Manning winning the Super Bowls with his
Yeah, that's
blood
right.
red face in the cold.
Looked like he was going to pass out.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so let's move from a not that interesting game to a less interesting game. Cardinals 20, Saints 13. All I got in this one, Marvin Harrison, They finally
alive.
remembered he was on the team. Yeah, he bulked up in the offseason, which is fucking scary because he was already jacked up.
Hopefully he doesn't go the David Boston route.
Yeah, to jump the shark. But he looked good. Cardinals defense, despite the fact that I can now name, I think, 2 players on it, looked better. Will Johnson specifically, who they got an injury discount on in this draft. He was the cornerback from Michigan, who they were worried about, like his knees.
Top 5 talent at the start of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was my CB1 in that draft. I would have been thrilled if the Browns or like any of my teams had gotten him, but he looked very, very good. He's the one that folded Chris Olave like a lawn chair at the end of the game. As a rookie, a cornerback. I feel bad for Olave at this point. Saints kept us closer than I thought they would, I guess. But the Rat Man is not the answer. But I don't know who is. It's him or Tyler Shuck.
The fact that they had 46 pass attempts is bonkers.
And that game plan is not going to work. I'm sorry, Kellen Moore. This is not Boise State. Like, you're not going to beat anyone throwing 46 times with Spencer Rattler. You do have Alvin Kamara, by the way. I'm not sure if you remember that, who I'm sure will have a mysterious injury in the next 3 weeks that'll keep him out for the rest of the year when he inevitably gives up. But,
What if?
At this point, they need to trade everybody. Just reset.
I agree.
Go full on 2016 Browns.
I think you could still.
Yeah, they should do that. They should have done that a while ago. They're finally having to eat their vegetables because they kicked this cap can down for so long that they're finally paying guys that haven't been on the team in 4 or 5 years. And this is what they can field right now.
Dude, it's still just crazy that Olave is only 25 years old, and we're talking about him like he needs to retire because of all the concussions.
Too many concussions.
I know, but it's still he's only been in the league for 4 years. This is his 4th season.
4 times in a year. Was that 3 concussions over 4 weeks, and then week 1
you look concussed.
A concussion? I think he's concussed again. Like, dude,
yeah, man,
gotta hang it up.
Have something left
for your brain.
We're done with this game. He's trying to get to that second contract, I feel like, and then he's dipping.
I mean, that's fair.
Let's move on forward. Giants 6, Commanders 21. For the love of God, please stop letting Russ cook. It's week 2, and Dable is already having to go out and let us know that Russ is his starting quarterback. That's not good.
Caleb said it best. Let Russ DoorDash.
Let Russ.
Just let someone else do the work while you sit on the sideline and enjoy it.
That is exactly.
I say you deliver the food. Let someone else cook it.
Yeah, all you have to do is pay for it. That's all.
Yeah.
Be the water boy. Yeah.
He lost his athleticism is what it came down to. And I don't mean that in just running ability, because he can still move when he needs to. But he lost it in his ability to drive the ball. He can't work the middle of the field. He can't hit windows anymore. His game is, his arm. Yeah, it's checkdowns and it's moonballs. That's all that's in the bag. And teams know that. They're gonna, if you can just key in on 2 parts of the field to stop the pass, then you're going to do that. The Giants also didn't really utilize Cam Scatterbo that much. Tracy didn't have that good of a game. That offensive line isn't good. No. Like,
their whole team looked like shit.
Yeah, I get starting Russ at the beginning of the year to give Jackson Dart some time to get acclimated, but if they're playing the Chiefs week 3, which is terrifying, but if it was any other team, I'd say no doubt you got to be starting Jackson Dart by then, because I don't see how you win with Russ at this point.
But that's the problem. You're in a tough position of, do you want to take out a rookie that you genuinely believe in? Do you want to put him into the lineup and have him start and just get railroaded immediately by teams over and over and over again and possibly destroy his confidence? I've watched this for 20 years with the Browns. Or do you just, as you said, eat your vegetables, roll out Russ, give Jackson Dart some garbage time play, and just honestly, go guys like... It sucks, but this is a garbage.
They have better odds putting Jameis in there.
Don't have
like, sit Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that option because then you're not.
Put
The problem is if you
Put
keep Russ
Jameis
when
in
he's
there.
obviously not the best quarterback in the room, you're going to lose the locker room. And then in turn, I think Dable, who's already on the hot seat, is done.
I can't imagine them sitting Russ is going to lose the locker room.
No, no, no,
That
no, no.
Three
Like
years in a row
continuing
now.
to start Russ is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah. I was say
Yeah,
that
throwing him out
pompous
every week
asshole
despite.
needs to be taken down
Yeah,
a
structure.
peg and sat on a bench and said, "You suck at football. We don't want you anymore."
See, and if you start Jameis, and this is selfishly because I want more Jameis clips, let him play. That still then gives you the
Always.
break glass in case of emergency. I need to start Jackson Dart or lose my job switch for Brian Dable. So again, Jameis against the Chiefs would
And
be electric.
Jameis still has the arm strength to hit the deep balls on the sideline in the middle of the field. So it'll open up the offense too. It might, they might not have won the game, but
And
14 points,
I would not have
17
won the game
points,
still.
it would have been a
Yeah.
hell of a lot closer probably.
And I would probably like to have Russ talking to Jackson Dart over Jameis. I just not even trying to be funny about it. I think Russ does have the knowledge. He's probably a smarter quarterback than Jameis is. I would rather have him on the sideline walking him through and
Thing
just
is,
watching
I-
Jameis do
I
crazy
feel like
shit
it's a
rather than
devil and
Jameis
angel
go,
on the shoulder
man.
kind of thing, but they're
Those
both
people-
wrong. Like
Yes.
Russ seems like a grating human being that
Yep,
maybe you
that's
can
what I
learn
was
some
gonna
stuff
say.
from, but you don't want to be around him at any
Yeah.
point. And then Jameis
Like-
is all vibes, but you're just not going to learn fucking shit. Like
If Russ only talked football on the sidelines
Horny
and
ass
helping Dart,
motherfucker.
absolutely. But anything else out of that man's mouth is Aaron Rodgers-esque.
You can keep hating Rodgers all you
I
want.
can
It's a
appreciate
goddamn bummer
greatness,
you don't
but that
get to
doesn't mean that I
appreciate
like him
greatness.
as a human being. I can't stand him when he opens his mouth.
all right, we'll
He's
get plenty
fucking
more
awesome.
Aaron Rodgers hate, but one of the other
He's
reasons
so
I'm
cool.
saying starting Russ might be continue to be dangerous. If you guys watch Malik
Right.
Neighbors, especially late in that game, that dude gave up. Like he was checked.
I gave
out.
up on this game well before the end of the game.
Did he
No,
seriously?
we saw this from Neighbors a little bit last year, but he was giving up on routes when he knew the ball wasn't coming to him. He was just pissed off. He was sulky. Like
I mean,
this is week
Ra-
one.
I say Randy Moss did the same thing, and he's Randy Moss.
Yeah, and he's still a great receiver. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying Neighbors isn't a great receiver, but if he's already giving up, a lot of the other teams going to follow suit. If he knows we have Russ out there, we're not going to win this game. Guys are not going to go out and fight for you, and it's just going to spiral.
No, I agree.
People are asking, is Neighbors entitled? You got to take your lumps, champ. You're on your second year. It's gonna suck, but you got to play.
No,
you have to
no,
play
it-
hard. You can't just be giving up already like that. That's fucked up. That's on the other side of things. I know
get
Russ
it.
sucks, and they're not going to game with Russ, but can we
No,
dog
and that's
Neighbors
fair,
for that?
and
that's really screwed
I
up. that
think
he's
the
already
modern
giving
diva
up.
wide receiver,
what
you're
an
going to get a
asshole.
lot of
What a
that.
bad
And while he is like the body language wasn't good, he could have made a bigger deal out of it. He's not like publicly bitching or anything yet. Who knows if that changes? But you're right. It's not a great look, especially for a young wide receiver. But I don't think it's also particularly surprising with how these guys are coming up at this point. But let's flip to the other side of it, though. I mean, Commanders look good. They put up 21 points. Jaden Daniels was not a world beater, but the one thing the Giants do well is their pass rush. Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter in there now. He was able to make the most of that still. Again, 21 points, not an amazing performance by any means. Running game looked decent. Could definitely improve. Bill got in there and got a touchdown.
Gronkowski Merritt.
Love me some Bill.
Will,
Austin Eckler,
Will.
I don't know how much you're going to get out of him at this point in his career. Debo Samuel also didn't look particularly sharp.
He didn't
Neither
look
did
bad.
Terry.
He
No,
looked significantly better than he did at any point in the last
What?
2 years with
You
the
You know,
Niners.
that's
Looked
fair.
good.
Like I'm still trying to compare him to like. I did forget that
Yeah,
he
he
was
took a
tailing
hand
off
off to
there
the
for the
house.
49ers.
Yeah,
We're
I
kind
say
of
he-
comparing
he
him back to
looked
like more prime
rejuvenated.
Debo. Terry McLaurin also though, which not super
Yeah.
surprising considering this is his first live game action all offseason. Looked a little bit sluggish. Terry will figure it out. Like,
Yeah. He'll
he's
get 1,000
older, but
yards,
I don't
80
think
catches, 7
Yeah.
touchdowns. He'll do what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like it, but I looked at his stats afterwards and watched a couple highlight plays, and he reminded me of Jamar last year. You miss all what you just said. You miss off season. You miss those practice reps. You're just out of
Triple crown year
Give it
incoming for
3
Terry
weeks. Give it
McLaurin
4
confirmed.
weeks. He's going to be right back.
Like Jamar. All right. Yeah.
That'd be fucking wild. Also, before we move on to the next game, saw something really funny, and it might be like the most logical thing I've ever heard, and it's that Patrick Mahomes is just Jameis Winston, but his crazy plays work. I saw that, and the other day I'm like, that just makes so much sense.
And he just kind of like lobbed it
Did you
over
see that throw as Patty
defense.
was
Again,
falling
he-
down? He's literally horizontal at the field. Out and it's a catch.
No,
Like,
you're 100%
that's something
right.
Jameis
Like,
would do, but that's getting taken
He's the
to the house
basketball
the
player
other
that
way.
just practices shooting, like falling down and like all kinds of weird angles and shit, and it works. Like, I don't know how you practice that, but yeah. My favorite comparison, and this is actually relevant because Buccaneers 23, Falcons 20. Michael Penix is just Jameis Winston without a learning disability. He looked, and I'm a Falcons fan.
Oh, Michael Penix got to ride the long
y'all
bus.
Y'all can tell by the shit behind me. I'm a Falcons fan, so I am a bit biased. But I think Penix looked good. Falcons
He
obviously
did.
did not win this game. The Buccaneers, who a lot of people are very high on this year, I wasn't as much, did look sluggish at points. I don't know what it is with Baker. Actually, I know exactly what it is with Baker. He's a quarterback where the less complicated the system is and the more he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing, the better he is. When they were running the 2-minute offense with him, completely different player.
Stud.
Completely different player. And we saw that in Cleveland quite a bit too. He's amazing in structure. I also think that's why things didn't work out with him and Odell, because Odell completely thrived outside of structure. And those two were just never going to mesh well.
You know, Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens. So.
And yeah, the whole deal. But
It's a shame Odell and Mahomes
They still
never
could.
got to play together.
They
Like,
still
that's
could.
a duo that would have just
Odell is
Odell's
a free
still
agent.
alive.
They could.
He is.
They could.
But
Yes,
I'll
to
go
both
past the
those.
Falcons, or I'll just hit them quick. And Penix looked good. I thought he did enough to show that like you can be confident in him. I'm excited for him this season, even if the Falcons don't, win a ton of games. The running game was, I think, a surprising question mark. The offensive line isn't great. They weren't healthy a lot last year. Bijan could
They
not
gave
really get anything going in the run
So
game.
many touches to Algier.
Yeah, and that too. Don't get.
I
I
thought
like
Arthur Smith was
Algier's a
gone.
fine power back. Like if you need to do something along the goal line, fine. But the regular feeding of him, I don't get. But neither of them were able to run the ball very
Yeah,
effectively.
No.
And like the Buccaneers, again, credit to them. They came in with a good defensive game plan for that. Bijan still put up his numbers in the passing game, which was
Yes.
fun to see. And
He
Penix
went
was still
off.
pushing the ball down the field. On top of that, he didn't do the young quarterback thing where it's just hit your check downs, maybe take a shot every once in a while. Like he looked like he could hit every level of the field. Yeah, he looks
He
comfortable.
really did.
And
looks
he's
so
more mobile
comfortable.
than people give him credit for too.
Well, yeah, I mean, the man has 3 fake ACLs, so.
Yeah.
fair.
He had a scramble
He's
for
the
first
thing is
down.
he's quick. He's not.
That's
He's
awesome.
not like agile. He's not gonna like juke you out of your shoes or anything like that. But we saw he jumped from about the like 7-yard line. It looked like
That picture is
on that
hysterical.
touchdown. Yeah, like I don't. You look at it and you don't understand how he could have possibly gotten across the plane without hitting a knee. But
Fully erect penalty.
he did it. All this poetic. Falcons still lost. Young Hui Koo continues to prove that he is not a clutch kicker. He's great when there's nothing on the line, but I've watched too many Falcons games where it gets blown by Young Hui at this point. We don't have anything better right now, so keep riding with him, I guess, but this needs to be addressed next offseason because the Falcons absolutely should have won that game or at least taken it to overtime.
Agreed, yeah.
So that hurt. But
Yeah. No, absolutely agree. I feel like didn't Didn't our young ho have something happen?
He
like
has it
that
happen
last
all
year?
the time.
Yeah, it happened
In a
several
game
times
that they
last
were
year.
supposed to win to make it to
I
the
say-
playoffs. Yeah, but I thought it was like a
Well, they had the
big
one
stage.
game where
Was
they
it
beat the
maybe
Bucks
against
in
the Bucks where
overtime.
that happened last year
It might have
too?
been the second Bucks
Like
game.
almost the same exact situation.
That was the Kirk Cousins 500-yard explosion.
Might have been. I do remember like there was.
I'm sure there
There
was.
was- I thought
They
there was one
blend
at, like, the
together
end of
at
the
this
season
point.
where
I
they
know
had
they
a
still
chance
had
to,
a
like,
chance technically
get
for the
into the
playoffs in the
playoffs.
last week, where both him and Bryce had good games against each other, but then I think like the Saints would have had to win to bump one of them. Whatever. But yeah, no, this is not the first time though for Younghoe.
Yeah, it was
But let's flip over to the other side. The Bucks. Credit to them again, despite the sluggish offense at times, they've got some playmakers there. Chris Godwin's still not even on this team. Emeka
Yeah.
Ibuka
He's
had a good preseason, and boy is he.
What? Or something? What's wrong with Godwin?
Well, according to
What, is
Sleeper,
Godwin
he's
IR
on the
or
pup
something?
list,
What's wrong with him?
but his
Where is he
designation
at?
is out.
Oh, so he can't go in an IR spot. That would suck if you had Chris Godwin on your team. Or,
I
if
know,
you drafted
right?
him
That would
specifically to
suck.
stash in an IR spot.
Yeah.
You should talk to your commissioner about that.
Be so bummed out. Yeah, you should. Let's put it to a
Anyway,
vote.
so yeah, while I have my concerns about Baker, I don't have my concerns about Ibuka.
Oh.
Mike Williams is going to be
Go.
fine, or Mike Evans. Mike
Evans.
Williams is
is
also
trash.
doing
He retired.
great. Yeah, he's enjoying Cancun, but the Bucks
Mike
again look like they're going to be
retired.
good. I still don't see dark horse Super Bowl like's been getting floated out there. I do think the Falcons still have a chance at this division, but they went out there, they won a game that they should have. I just need to see this offense be consistent because that's where they've run into issues. They're going to have weeks where they put up, 10 points, 12 points in a game that they should win. They always seem to kind of play to their opponent, whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I feel like
Mhm.
that offense never really clicked against the Falcons. Bucky didn't
Didn't
really.
Rashad White have a
game.
touchdown?
Mike Evans
No.
didn't have a good
No.
game.
Oh, I thought I saw his name.
Did Rashad White have a
No,
touchdown?
Bucky
No
did
way.
have a touchdown.
I forgot McMillan.
Yeah, he had a
broke his
receiving
neck or
touchdown.
landed on his
That's
neck or
right.
something like that. He did? Get the fuck out of here. No shit. Good for him. But, I don't know. It's just, for what that offense has, kind of just reiterating what you said, that they always play to their opponent. You're right on the money with that. They always play
And they
down.
should be
gonna
able
say,
to take
It's the
advantage of a
weirdest
division
thing.
that's not
weirdest thing,
great,
man.
and they just never have. They've won it 2 years in a row, or maybe more than that at this point, but at least the last
This
2
is-
years.
This is Kyle Pitt's year. He came
True.
out of the gate hot.
Yes, he did.
This the one?
Yeah.
Dude, he had an awesome
And there was
fucking catch towards
There was
the
a lot
end.
of talk in the offseason
He
that
actually really did, though.
Penix and
The
Pitts
one.
were hooking up, and that pause. But
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be comfortable. Penix and a Pitts.
You're
If they
telling
were
me
to go,
Peaches were hooking up?
let's move past that before that devolves. We can kind of, I think,
Imagine
blow
they had
through-
Jake Butt. That connection.
Imagine if Jalen Carter spit on Tua. The memes would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Penix to butt would be so
The
fun.
Penix to butt penetration.
The Penix to butt, and they tush push it. Can you dig it?
We're moving past that.
You're welcome.
Alright, well that's happening. Oh my god. Penix to butt. Penix to booty, to Kayshawn booty, Penix to booty, and Loveland is on the side clapping.
Moving
It's your new favorite season of
Moving
Love
on. I think we can kind of gloss over this one a little bit. Raiders 20, Patriots 13. Two teams I don't think are going to be great, but the Raiders,
I don't
I
even
think
watch the
finally
game.
having Pete Carroll and Geno Smith in there, they're going to win games that they should. Despite the fact that offensive line is god-awful, Ashton Genty's going to have an uphill battle to produce this year. But Geno looked fine. He had a pretty standard game, I would say, for him. And that was enough because the Patriots, while they had flashes, there's a lot of missing pieces on this team still. I do believe in Drake May, and I was tempted to put them in like a wild card playoff spot. I think some people are because of that. Because a good quarterback can overcome a lot, but he can't overcome a bad defensive line, a bad offensive line, no receivers to be found. Good secondary.
Not no receivers. Kayshon Boutte actually looked like he's at least would be a solid number 2, if not borderline
The problem
one
is
receiver.
but he is, unless Diggs turns it on, which I guess he
Diggs
still
isn't going to
could.
turn on. I feel like Diggs is done. He's
So
dug a
you
hole.
have Kayshon Boutte and nothing else at this point, which when you're already trying to overcome a bad offensive line, and maybe
agree.
Travion really gets it going, which could
Yeah.
help. Did you just have to look
Demario
up who else
Douglas.
is on their team?
I have faith in Demario Douglas. I won't give up on him.
They have Jalen Polk still. I think they drafted
No,
him
I
last
love-
year.
I didn't realize Drake May had a
I
reception.
love him.
Yes, he did. He completed one to himself. That's where we're at. So, still a close game, but the
Sure.
Raiders still felt like they kind of had control of this one. They're going to be a boring team, but again, they'll win some games that they should maybe have a say in the playoff picture. Not that they're going to be fighting for a spot, but they can definitely, chip at a team that might be fighting for a spot, especially in that division.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to hit on, or can we move past this?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I'm
Please
good.
don't.
I don't wanna hit on
49ers
any more
17,
Packers
Seahawks
or-
13. The Niners win, but at what cost?
Dude, there's got to be some type of curse that was put on the Niners. Like, they can't win a Super Bowl, and they're getting injured constantly. It feels like every year there's some reason that they cannot fulfill the potential that this team has. Well, even with
For
the
a while, it was
Garoppolo
just
curse,
the
like, people
Garoppolo
got
curse.
injured at inopportune times. Like, fuck, who was? I think it was Bosa, like, got injured in the NFC Championship game. And
No, that wasn't Bosa. That was somebody
No.
else. The guy who went to go run
I know
on
what
the
he's
field,
talking about. but-
tore his
No, I think
Achilles.
Bosa got hurt.
Like
but
on
still
the sideline,
played.
you're talking? Or
okay,
you're
but
talking
he
about
wasn't
that
at
first
full
one.
strength in the Super Bowl. They ended up losing to the Chiefs. But yes,
Oh.
and then NFC Championship, the guy rupturing his Achilles running onto the field. Like, someone put a curse on this team, and it's,
Yes.
if I
And
were a
just
Cowboys fan, it'd be awesome to watch, but I don't care that much. I just feel bad for him at this point.
And just for context, again, everyone freaked out already on Thursday when McCaffrey suddenly had a calf injury.
I
Christian
mean,
McCaffrey.
for good reason.
Right after last year, starting the season quote unquote healthy, and then miraculously going on IR for 7 weeks. So he's already kind of floating around that. Kittle's now on IR. Purdy got banged up. Nothing official yet. He may not actually play in this next game, which means we would get McCoracle Jones. And it's enough that Kyle Shanahan even said that they're looking for another quarterback, which sounds like to me, if you're going out to look for another backup, you're worried that your guy's going to be missing more than a game.
We should have
Yes,
held
Mike.
on to
Trey Lance?
can't remember his name now. Wow.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
We should trade them Shadur.
The second we trade
them
Shador,
Shadur.
he's going to just destroy the
star.
league, and you know it. Man. And that,
I
know,
should have
that's
held
why I
on to
wanna
Pickett
trade
and
him.
traded him there. But I got like a
Shadur,
third-round pick.
Honestly,
I wanna
yeah.
see him light it up.
Kirk Cousins, a name I've seen floated around. I don't think that happens unless Purdy's confirmed out for 6+ weeks. Especially the Falcons will end up taking on some of that money because he is just rotting on the bench right now.
Yeah, and I don't think the
But
Niners have the cap space to bring that in.
The cap is imaginary.
Mhm.
Well, they just cut Jake Moody.
No,
I think
there's-
they've got the
I don't
space.
think
there.
anybody has that cap space.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's true. Yep.
That's true.
Jake Moody is their kicker,
Jake
who has
Moody, and I
been
have no idea who
terrible
their
for the
other
last
kicker
3 years.
They have Robbie Grohl.
How soon do you
Oh,
think
right
the
now I have
Browns
no
pick him up?
Yeah, so who's
No.
their kicker now?
No, the Browns are the ones that ruined Jake Moody. Was it 2 years
Dude, I
ago?
would
I
say-
think when we were playing the Niners that we
Okay.
beat them when we absolutely should not have.
Yeah, that was
the
a great
Moody.
game.
Yeah, the Moody missed kick at the end. That was the start of the decline, and it's only gotten worse. But they did finally get rid of him. Ricky Pearsall looked good.
We were saying, well, at least Brandon and I were saying that 3 weeks ago.
How good did he look? Did he look good in the who do I throw the ball to because Juwan Jennings is hurt and
No,
George
I mean,
Kittle's
he
hurt and Ayuk is
being the
hurt?
only
Or did
receiving
he
option
actually
with
look
Kittle
good?
also being hurt, he was
Outside
still
of
getting
McCaffrey.
open. Yeah, and McCaffrey. Like he was getting open, he was getting contested catches. Pearsall legitimately did look good. He played more of what his hype was last year.
No, that's awesome.
Like again, I feel like you said, Mike, he was getting a lot of like big pub towards the end of last season, and it never really felt like he was that good. But now it seems like he's hit that kind of level.
He's got the stride. Well, good for him.
If
That's
Once
awesome.
everyone's
Not
healthy.
when-
Trent
if it's
Williams
fun
also
once,
got hurt
well,
in that game, by the way.
It'll never be fun because it'll never happen.
I don't think he's. I don't know if he's out for any extended time, but he
Trent
did come
Williams
out of
also
that
got
game
hurt? Great.
for some period.
That's
Speaking
what I'm
of
saying.
what the
They're
hell-
cursed.
Well, speaking of what the
Hell
hell is
is
going
going
on,
on
Mike,
over
your
there?
boy GE Cubis. Any words for your boy?
The Darnold.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's fair.
I do like
I didn't watch
what
the
you
game.
put, Brandon, that he looked as good as he ever did before he was good Darnold.
Yes, Sam Darnold played like the best version of Sam Darnold before he was good Sam Darnold. It was like good middling rookie quarterback game where like he made a mistake at the end that ended up costing it. He was never going to be the primary reason they win. The defense carried them. It didn't look good. Nothing like Vikings Darnold last year. To his credit, he didn't look like Vikings Darnold in the last 2 games of last season, where he was kind of a disaster. He kept him in it. But if this is what we're going to get for 17 games, I don't think Seattle's going to win too much.
No. Things change when you
And Cooper
can
Kupp.
only throw to JSN.
All right.
Okay,
No.
well, I mean, last year all he had was Justin Jefferson.
Cup.
And Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkins.
Hawkinson was out for half the
And Jordan
season.
Addison. And TJ Hawkinson.
Hawkinson was out until
And
week
there
8
you go.
last year.
I would still take that receiving core over Seattle's right now. They
Is it
literally
tight
got
end?
rid
They
of
still have
everybody and then
Addison.
brought in Sam Darnold, and they're like, yeah, I think this is going to work. Yeah.
That's all you need.
And
No, we
JSN
got
is
it.
great,
We got
but you
Cooper
still
Kupp,
need
man.
some kind of an outside threat. Again, like the McConkey effect,
Yeah, but-
like to really open him up. He can be your wide receiver 1, but you got to have something else there.
What
Yeah,
worried me is the fact that Charbonnet
He's out.
out-touched K9. That was
I
very
feel like
surprising to me.
they flip every once in a while. Neither of them were particularly
No.
great. But yes.
Yes, agreed.
And they did address it in the
That
draft.
line is still
The-
so bad. That line. So that line. I did catch some of the game, and the plays where I saw K9 back there. Now I'm a K9 believer. I'm a K9 stan. I really like him a lot. I still think he's good despite what his numbers show.
Yeah.
That guy gets fucking lit up before he can cross that line every single time. He's getting tackled a yard or 2 in the backfield, and it's like, well, how come he can't do anything? It's like, well, he can't not get touched. How Charbonnet does it, I don't know. Maybe Charbonnet is the better running back, but I know
Yeah,
K9
they need to
and
pull it
just that
together.
entire Seattle Seahawks offensive
We'll
line
move
is just
past it.
really rough.
Titans 12, Broncos 20. Closer game than I think a lot of people thought, especially with being Cam Ward's first time out. His stats weren't good. I want to say he was around like 50% completion. But if you actually went back and watched, he did have some throws where you're like, there's something here. He didn't look, the moment didn't look too big for him. He looked like a
He
rookie.
didn't look lost.
Yes. That
He
too,
got let down by
which
Anderson.
He looked
he
slightly
doesn't-
he got let down
overwhelmed,
by
but he
his
didn't
receivers.
look lost, which is
right.
up against that defense is saying a lot for the first game out.
No, agreed. And that's kind of been his calling card. You go back and watch the Miami tape especially, you're almost concerned for him sometimes because he is so calm in the pocket that he's not even like moving the feet. Like he is just, nah, this is fine. Everything's fine. Which I think will bode well for him because again, that Titans offensive line, not great.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Titans fan, I'm more than happy with this initial performance against what is a top 3 defense in the league, or what people think is going to be a top 3 defense. Like you said, receiving options aren't great. I do like Eric Ilemainer. I hope I'm saying that right. The Stanford
Alec.
kid. Alec Ilemainer. Thank you. Yes, and as our kitten is joining the
I can't
podcast.
correct you, so yeah.
So I
Okay.
think that core will be fine eventually, but considering he didn't have like a great X to be throwing it to, I don't know what's going on with Calvin Ridley at this point. I think he did okay, and he was let down by his coach a little bit as well. The one Io Maynor catch where he landed like his elbow, he caught the ball, his elbow hit inbounds when he had possession. They called it out of bounds, and Callahan decided not to challenge it. And when they asked him about it in the media after, he was like, "Well, no, like both of the feet have to be in, or like two body parts have to hit." But no, the rule is it's either 2 feet or any other body part is considered in.
And a
So
foot.
like, yeah. Well, no, not even. Like if the elbow is down when you're sliding, like that is a catch.
I love when they just don't remember that.
Who, me?
Just be wrong, man. It's fine. You fucked up.
Patrick was looking at me. Patrick was looking at me sideways.
No, not
No,
either
I
way,
thought
that
he
was
was saying that to
What are
me.
we
Like, what do
talking
you mean
about
be
here?
wrong? I thought it was like
No,
a foot in like an elbow or a foot in a hand. Yeah.
So he should have thrown the challenge flag there.
About the context of the situation.
Didn't end up doing it. Bo Nix, not
Looked
a
awful.
great game. Not a great game from him.
He looks so bad.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned yet. I mean, the Titans don't have a great defense, so
No.
he should have played better. They did what they needed to win. I do like what that running game I think is going to end up being, especially if JK stays healthy. A 1-2 punch of him and RJ Harvey, I think, would be stellar. But yeah, Knicks will have to play better.
I said that was what I was predicting.
Knicks
Sorry, go ahead, Mike. What?
took the step back.
Yeah.
He took the CJ Stroud step back, is what he did. He's having a
I said,
sophomore slump, and he looks
That's
just
what
like
I was
CJ did
expecting
out the
him
gate
to
last
be
year.
last year.
Looked
Like
very rough.
him playing out of his mind like he did was not on my radar at all. I thought this was the quarterback he was going to be.
Who knows? Maybe we got the tape on him now, and this is what we get from Bo Nix. I was not a Bo Nix guy either. I didn't think he would just take a giant step back this year, but it remains to be seen. But either way, Broncos end up with a win, 1-0. Move on from that. Lions, Packers. This one, 12-27 in favor of the Packers, and really was not even that close. For a team that has been awesome the last 2 years, a popular Super Bowl pick again this year, now that everyone's healthy, the Lions looked fucking
They look like
lost.
shit.
Like,
Yeah, they got.
which is
That's what happens when you lose two coordinators.
fair.
Parsons
No,
only
the
played
other
like a
team gets
third of the
Micah
game,
fucking
though, which is
Parsons.
crazy.
And he still made an impact.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever he was out there, he made the biggest impact on the field. That was wild. He was a scary fucking menace. And that Packers line, what I was going to say when we were talking about K9, that Packers
Oh,
line
right.
made Jahmyr Gibbs look like K9. They couldn't get anything going with Gibbs. They got him.
Yeah, the line is a
every single
major
fucking time,
problem.
dead to rights. That was
I'm willing
crazy.
to give you a week or
Like, the hype
two
around him.
for like the coordinators being gone to figure that shit out, whatever. What I'm really concerned about is the fact that when the running game couldn't get going, they couldn't do anything passing either.
No,
Like they need it. It was obvious how much a crutch that running game is for Dan Campbell, and hopefully he finds a way to adjust for that. The problem is Jared Goff has never been a quarterback that can just go out and throw it 50 times a game with no backing behind him and win it for you. Like he needs something to lean on there to open things up because he's a very methodical, like I said with Baker, like a no, like go through your progressions, hit one of them kind of guy, or bail and like live to see tomorrow. He's not going to make crazy improvised plays, and they got a little bit exposed with that. And I think they figured out they need a plan because Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going to be able to be Superman every week.
it's just crazy because the offensive line was like their calling card last year. They were
Yes.
talking about how it was one of the best in recent memory, and like they just got bulldozed. And I get,
There was some-
Micah Parsons is going to do a whole hell of a lot. That's why Jared Goff was sacked 4 times. Like they had to account for that. But Parsons hasn't ever really been known as like a top tier run stopper. Like he's not bad
Right.
at it. He's not a liability, but
They just got rid of one of those supposedly.
yeah, but like adding him to the defense, you wouldn't think they'd then hold one of the best rushing offenses to under 50 rushing yards in a game. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's. I think it goes to show that this team really is going to suffer without Ben Johnson.
We'll see.
A lot of people
We'll
thought
see.
they could survive without him. I don't know,
I'm
man.
not
It
ready to
doesn't look
say
good
that it's
without
Ben
him.
Johnson.
It's different.
The
It's a
offensive
different
line
team.
is scaring me more, but we'll see if they're able to adjust as we go along. Again, losing Frank Ragnow was a big loss for them. I know there's some other turnover. I don't have it all up right in front of me. But yeah, major point of concern. Packers, though, looked very good defensively. As we mentioned, incredible game. Jordan Love looked good. He didn't have to go out there and win it by himself, but he hit the receivers when he needed to. Again, he looked comfortable. Josh Jacobs, still a very good running back. I feel like he's always a guy that gets lost in the shuffle because he's not going to really give you much out of the receiving game, but boy, is he reliable.
Yes.
When you get him a steady dose of carries. So I'm starting to understand the hype behind the Packers. They are a much more physical team than I anticipated, especially against the Lions, where, like you said, Patrick, that was their calling card last year on both sides of the ball, really, when they were healthy. They just got bullied on both sides of the line. And
as it turns out, I guess you can beat a lot of
there
good
is
teams with
there is a
5
finite
wide
number
receiver
that you have to
twos.
hit,
Who would
and
have thought?
eventually it will work.
Not me.
No, but I think
didn't
it being
need to.
out there
Matthew
made an
Golden
impact.
didn't really make an impact this game. I
He's
thought
more of a
Matthew
field
Golden-
stretcher than a lot of those other guys, especially with Christian Watson still hurt.
But he didn't.
No.
He
Again,
barely
game
showed
one,
up, though.
we'll give Golden
I
some
really
time.
expected more out of him.
But that he also didn't really need him, if I'm being honest. Like it.
No, that game. This was another game that was never in question.
Yeah. And similar to the Eagles, I feel like they don't have an offense that's designed to blow out teams by 30, 40 points, but you can just grind out wins like this week after week in this division. They're going to be in good shape. Remember, they only won one game in that division last year against the Bears. And already, like, to come out of the gate like this, you got to be happy if you're a Packers fan. All right. Go, Mike.
All right, I'm ready for fraud talk. I'm ready to
Texans,
talk about a
Rams?
fraud. You ready?
Ooh,
Next game?
It's back. It's back.
CJ fraud. Sophomore year was rough.
Here's the problem.
Year 3
I'm going to defend
is
CJ, and
even
yes, he's been
more
my guy
rougher.
for a while now, Mike. Because you were saying CJ fraud when he got drafted. I got to do my victory lap in year 1, and now you're slowly crawling back into this conversation. They had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL last
he's
year.
back down now.
Their plan was to get rid of the good players on that offensive line, replace them with worse but different ones, and then expect them to play better.
But did they get picks?
I don't
Did they
even
get
remember.
any picks for that?
I don't even remember what they got for
Worthy of, like,
Tunzel. I
professional
don't.
players,
Whatever it was, it
Pro
wasn't
Bowl
worth it. Oh. Yes.
Well, I'm working
Hey, man,
on a
they are
joke here,
just
making
one
fun of Jerry
defensive
Jones of getting rid of
playmaker
players
away
that
from being
can be
able to
Pro
win.
Bowl. Yeah.
They got
They're almost there.
They got a 3rd and a 7th round pick this past draft, and a 2nd and 4th round pick in 2026.
I mean, Bill
That's
Nye,
true.
the Commander's guy back
Yeah,
there.
but that's
get
a
Laramie
running back,
Tunsil.
not a tackle.
And he might be a Pro Bowler.
Laramie Tunzel was a first-round left tackle that would have been the number 1 overall pick if he didn't decide to smoke weed out of a gas mask a week before the draft.
Yeah, but that was really neat.
It was pretty cool.
What the fuck?
I would do the same. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that was innovative.
It was pretty. We don't know if it was weird.
Again, shows you he's a smart player, creative player.
The
Still
ingenuity to do that.
Yeah, but again, Stroud, great quarterbacks overcome that, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that he's like anywhere what we thought he was going to be after that rookie season, but holy fuck, you've got to give him some time, something to work with. And the receiving core, they've kind of like pieced together the last couple seasons. I mean, Nico Collins is obviously great. He was hurt a lot of last season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Dell's out all year. They brought in, it seemed like a whole fucking
Jalen, and Jaden.
That's right, yes. And Christian Kirk.
So,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Christian Kirk.
yeah, Higgins, Higgins.
Yeah,
As
so-
apparently did C.J. Stroud because he didn't even target him once.
Yeah.
He was the highest paid receiver in the league at one point.
But yeah, if we get another full season of this, I will listen to the fraud talk. But yeah, that offensive line is one of the worst I've seen.
He's better than Bryce Young, so he's better than the first overall pick. That's all.
That's true.
All you need
That's
to not be a
all
bust.
that matters.
The bar
Yes.
is low. The bar is incredibly
you
low.
better than Bryce Young.
Literally.
You can do it, buddy. And better than AR.
However, though, Texas defense did look good.
Stafford looked a
looked bad.
lot better than I was anticipating.
Stafford didn't look
But it
very
still wasn't good.
I didn't really
No.
watch him play.
Which again, barely practiced this preseason.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't play any
Right.
preseason games. It was just sloppy football all the way around. And for the Texans, I think it's because of bad line play. For the Rams, I think it was just rusty old quarterback play. But I'm a lot more confident about Stafford figuring it out than I do the line suddenly gelling together in Houston. That offense has been a problem. They made the playoffs last year because they were in a very bad division. Now all of a sudden, though, the Colts look live. The Jaguars look good week one. Titans have a young quarterback. I think they're at least a year or two away, but
The Colts
They're not gonna
actually
be able to
look
rest on their
good, or was
laurels
it
anymore.
because they played Miami?
I'm not saying that Indy's
Okay.
going to go in and win, but they look better than I think anybody anticipated.
That's fair.
Considering,
Okay, I wanted some clarification.
No, but I think the Texans.
You got to give credit.
2 years ago, they surprised everybody. Last year, they were able to take advantage of a crappy division. They
Yes.
never looked like they were playing well. Still did win a playoff game against the Chargers when the time came, but just never looked like a good team. But just snuck into the playoffs because they won the games they were supposed to, just in very sloppy fashion. And I feel like we're seeing that again, but the division's catching up with them a little bit. Like,
That's
I wouldn't
fair,
be
yeah.
surprised if the Titans can pick one off of them, or again, the Jaguars, especially if Lawrence stays healthy all year and you don't have Mac Jones. Like, it's not going to be pretty. So I don't love the outlook for the Texans. Rams, again, if Stafford can stay healthy, I think they're going to be just fine and competing for that division. All right. 2 games. I kind of want to skip forward because we already had a game of the year candidate. Are you guys cool going to Monday night and then popping back? All right. Vikings 27, Bears 24 in a game where the Bears were leading the majority of the time. J.J. McCarthy's debut. Boy, did it look like we were all right about J.J. McCarthy for the first 3 quarters.
So good. It's so
It
nice.
was-
They fucked that
I
Michigan
still
man.
feel like
It
we're
looked
okay
so
with that,
good.
though.
We might
He
be.
looked lost, confused.
Mhm.
He was late to throw the football to every receiver.
late, he was
looked
throwing
like he was
low.
Uncomfortable.
He was,
I was
again,
so
checking
happy.
down a lot. He wasn't even using his legs, which, not the fastest quarterback, but he's a big physical quarterback.
He's got speed.
He wasn't even leaning into that. Like, he just looked completely overwhelmed. Like, the lights were way too bright for him. And that was the case for the majority of the game. The problem is they're playing the Bears. And while, again, they looked, looked good in that
Speaking
first
of
drive.
first,
Caleb Williams was actually getting the ball out. He made a couple nice throws last night. Scored the touchdown with his legs as well. But when you look at the entirety of it, he's still missing wide open guys. He's still not getting all the way through his progressions. It feels like the same exact quarterback from last year.
This is a perfect example
Yes.
of why the NFL needs to broadcast the all 22 view
Yes.
more often. Because
That
I
was
think I
awful.
sent both you guys that video of Caleb Williams, the all 22. Wow. He missed so many open receivers,
Yes.
and the ones that he did hit were very bad throws. Overthrown, behind, way too far ahead. Like, it's unbelievable. He's very good at playing,
Which is
at running
crazy, 'cause that was his
scripted plays.
calling card coming
After
out of
that,
college,
He kind of
is
falls
that
apart, and
he was great at the unscripted stuff. It was the
Yes.
scripted plays that he struggled with.
But the thing is, you can get away with that in college.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
It's
it's crazy how it just completely flipped.
no, I agree with you. Go ahead.
What
He
It was
started,
still the Pac-12.
yeah, Pac-12. He was in the Big 12 before, or the SEC before that. Yeah.
was still the Pac-12? Yeah. Yeah. So to the point earlier,
Yeah.
you can get away with that when you're in college, and you're in the Pac-12. Of course, you can get away with that kind of stuff. But then you come to the NFL, pressure's on. You're playing
Yeah.
the best of the best. He crumbles under pressure. I really think it's the pressure. When there's no pressure, he's fine. He's comfortable. He's cozy. When he has to go out there and he has to make a big play, he needs something to work out. I mean, he stepped out of bounds twice, which doesn't seem like a big number, but those were big plays where you cannot step out of bounds. One of them, I think he was trying to pick up a first down, stepped out of bounds right before he could pick it up. I think the second one was when he was trying to dive in to get a touchdown. Everybody thought he had it, and then he didn't. And I think they still got that touchdown when Ben Johnson scripted up something
Yeah.
fun and
That
gave
was a
the
nice
ball to
throw. He's kinda like
Adunze
sidearm that in
wide
there.
open in the end zone,
But-
which was really cool. It was super cool. But fact of the matter is, know your mistakes. Those are the mistakes you make. Pressure's on, those mistakes start flying up. And same with the bad throws too.
Yeah, and I don't
just
want to
don't
give
think
up
he
on
plays
him. And
well
this was
under
Ben
pressure.
Johnson's first game with him. And the Vikings, I will be the first to say that I kind of undersold them. And it was mostly JJ McCarthy, but this was still a roster minus Sam Darnold that won 14 games last year. So they had a lot of really good pieces. They hung in the game even when McCarthy, wasn't moving the ball whatsoever. Fourth quarter, still I don't think turned into a world beater or anything, but suddenly seemed to figure it out.
He looked
Was
competent.
Yeah, he looked like a competent quarterback. He ran the ball in once as well for a score, and yeah, hit. Did he also hit JJ in the fourth quarter, or was that the third? Either way,
Dude.
It was Jay. Yeah,
He hit JJ in the fourth in that little window, which was very impressive
Yes.
throw. I think it was right after that when the defense
Yeah.
came
Yes.
alive too and just started mollywhopping Caleb. I think it was the one where they just ran right through first play after that on defense. I think they ran right through the offensive line like tissue paper and tackled him like 15 yards beyond the line. That
overall,
was
an
awesome.
interesting
He
game.
just
I
hit the
think my
fucking
biggest
gas.
takeaway is I want to see more though from both sides. I want to see JJ do this against a team that's not Chicago, who notoriously, like the Browns, just find ways to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. And then
You wanted
for
to say that.
Caleb, we got to have a couple more games of, just of Ben Johnson, of him figuring out that offense. If we're still seeing this by the end of the year, unfortunately, that might be it for Caleb. He'll get more chances because he was the number one overall pick. But yeah, Johnson's got to figure out something with this dude. If I remember right, too, the Bears don't have the easiest next game either.
and based on the way he looked this week and last year, the Bears would have been better off holding on to Justin Fields.
Oh, they have the Lions. So that might be the Lions get right game. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Which we don't know.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know. I might be really just trying to find a comparison here and forcing it, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like this Bears situation right now, at least the offensive side of the football, kind of reminds me of the Browns with Baker when we had Odell and Jarvis.
Yeah.
I guess it's different because they have Swift where we had Chubb. I'm just looking and going, like, their offensive line is good now. The Bears invested in their offensive line. It's better. They have weapons in the wide
Yes.
receivers. They have a new weapon in the tight end. They have Loveland, right? And Warren went. Yeah, Loveland is in Chicago. That line is good. The receivers are good. The tight end's good. Running back Swift isn't anything to go home about, but he's not bad. It just kind of reminds me of like the frustration we had with Baker when he wasn't playing up to speed how he should have been when he had every single weapon available. And it's like, buddy, what's not clicking for you? So I can just imagine on top of everything fans have to deal with of going, Caleb, what more do you need? Like, it's a mental thing for you now, man. Figure it out.
Yeah,
You
very
can't-
different style of quarterback, but I definitely understand the comparison. All right. So,
I like that situation a little bit better though, because Ben Johnson, I feel like, is significantly further ahead than either Hugh Jackson or Freddie Kitchens.
No, that's fair, but don't forget Hugh Jackson was very, very highly touted when he
Big time.
first came in. I do agree with you that I'm much more confident in Ben Johnson, but like that was a big deal that the Browns got everyone's first choice for a head coach that year. Obviously ended up being the worst coach in our franchise's history. Who is now, I think, the offensive coordinator at Georgia State. So things are going great. All right, we got to talk about this one, guys. Sunday Night Football, Ravens 40, Bills 41. Game of the year candidate in week 1, the 15th game played. Holy shit. The Ravens were up 40-25 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Looking at that box score is hysterical. Baltimore 3 points, 17 points, 14 points, 6. Buffalo 7, 6, 6, 22. Like just fucking choke artists.
That's my MVP.
Oh my
Speaking
god,
of,
it's
it's funny that you
like
mentioned
you
that.
don't like
So we'll
Ravens
get into
football.
the players and Josh Allen and everything else. So I have a nice little stat here, courtesy of The Athletic. So record since 2022. Records when leading by 9 to 16 points in the fourth quarter. Take a guess at who the best team in that stat was.
the way you're leading up to it, I'm gonna say the Bills.
No, that would be the Chiefs, 24 and 24 when holding a 9+ point lead in the fourth quarter.
They're 500.
Sorry, no, 24 of 24. They're 24-0.
Oh, 24 and 0.
Yes, so
Okay.
legitimately perfect. Eagles, Lions, Bengals, actually, all very high percentages as well. The second worst team is the Bills. They are 19 and 2, so that's a 90%.
It's still not bad.
No, but then it drops an entire 10 percentage points of the Ravens, who are 25 and 6 in that span. So 80% of the time they win those games, which for a team as talented as they are and for a coach that's been around for as long as Harbaugh is jarring, especially with the context of what we just watched. Maybe not surprising, but they always seem to be able to do this. And it's, to their credit, it's usually against very, very good teams, minus the Raiders last year. But yeah, this is becoming a little bit of a trend. The Ravens had control of this for the most part. Derrick Henry, if he's going to fall off, this isn't the year. We've been wrong about 8 years in a row now. He's just going to continue defying time and gravity and whatever else.
The man was averaging a first down every time he touched the ball. Why didn't they just continue to feed him? I know he fumbled it, and that you can't do anything on it.
That.
Yeah, but that's one play that led to a touchdown. How do you explain the other 2 touchdowns?
No, you're right. I mean, it's never a bad idea to give Derrick Henry the ball more. And that fumble was a very rare thing from him. I feel bad because between him and Lamar, they looked completely unstoppable, but it was the perfect combination of Josh Allen catching absolute fire, the Ravens getting too conservative for their own good. They honestly, and maybe like hindsight's 2020, but when they had the 4th and 2, I know they were in their own territory. With how great Josh Allen was playing, I almost feel like what was that? It was 4th and 3. Even still, man, I might try to just run the offense out there and end it there because it felt like the momentum had completely flipped at that point, regardless of how good the punt was. Forget about that, too. They almost put him at the 1. Like, that punt was, I still didn't quite get it. To be fair, I wasn't watching with the sound on. I was talking with you, Mike, at the time. Like, it looked like he had, the returner or the kick defender had grabbed it before it rolled over the line, but like they said he slid and it was technically a touchback, whatever.
So backing up, when it was 4th and 3, my vote is you go for it at that point because I think there was maybe like 2.5 minutes left, somewhere around that. Worst case, if you get it, probably 99% chance you win. Well, actually, it was probably 99% chance you win. So 99.9% chance you would win that game at that point. But if I remember right, because me and you were watching that game together over the headset, and I think that play, that third down there, is when Lamar gets up
Yeah.
and he starts to hobble a little bit. He kind of limps a little bit. You actually pointed it out before I saw it. I think it was that third down, so they're looking at it going like, well, I trust my defense. Lamar's limping over here. I don't feel comfortable rolling him back out again. So I think that was the decision with the punt of going. Lamar is banged up right now. I get it. You hand it to Derrick Henry, but it is 3 yards. It's not 1 yard. It's not two. It's 3 yards. But that punt makes zero sense to me.
I
That
didn't
should be
get
down
that.
at the
So
one. That is not a
that kind
touchback.
of screwed him, but you're going to get a little bit of luck in every game. You have the right as a Ravens fan to be a little bit upset there, but holy fuck, Josh Allen. We talked about it a little
he
bit
went
already.
on a goddamn tear.
251 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? Pretty good game. Just the
MVP.
fourth quarter. That was just the fourth quarter. That's fucking insane, man.
That's it. He's incredible. Those are better than. I mean, I'm gonna.
That was better than
CJ Stroud's numbers in a full game.
I say that was better than probably about 90% of starting quarterbacks this past week's.
I was gonna say, I know Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, at least specifically, he outthrew both of them just with that fourth quarter number.
He outthrew Baker. He outthrew Stafford.
Yeah,
like just looking at the games that we've gone over so far, it's been the majority. He outthrew Love.
Yep.
I don't think there was a quarterback for you.
It's nut.
Goofball, probably. Yeah.
The thing is, we all
In
thought
the
both
fourth
these teams
quarter.
are going to be great. I
In the
think we all
fourth
had
quarter.
some combination of them in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I think we all had the Ravens in the Super Bowl, actually, the Bird Bowl.
Bird Bowl.
And I think the takeaway is both these teams are fucking
Bird Bowl.
incredible, but the Bills might be on a different level if they're able to maintain this level of play from Josh Allen, which we've seen it. But yeah, both they're going to be. I can't wait to see these teams play more, man.
Yeah.
Any other parting thoughts? I got one other. We're going to expose a cold take before we get into Fantasy on Ice, but
Yeah, feed Derrick Henry.
I still thought the Ravens should have won that game, but instead of playing to win, they played not to lose on that. I think it was the last drive when they just kept playing prevent, and every single time they'd hike the ball, again, Brandon pointed it out. Every single time the ball would get hiked, you would see those three guys go back. They would drop back into cover. Everything back up.
It was over and over 15-yard pickups.
And it's not like he had 30 seconds on that drive. He still had, was it a minute 30? I think no timeouts, but yeah, you cannot give the former MVP.
It was plenty of time.
Yeah,
a legend.
That much room to work. So before we completely wrap up our look around the league, freezing cold takes, guys. We're gonna throw it back to 2016. Pete Prisco tweeted, "Hey Derrick Henry, Saban here. Thanks for your help with those 395 carries. Alabama won, you lost. Your running back life expectancy has gone down." That was 9 years ago. He almost had 2,000 yards last season. And
he's
already
off to a strong start this year.
And he still has not caught up to his high school numbers, by the way, which is absurd. He's like 400 yards away now.
That video was nuts. 1,961.
How many yards did he have last year? Didn't he have like 1,900? Can we talk about how silent that 1,900-yard season was because Saquon was having like a crazy one, but Derrick Henry is quietly having that many yards? That was nuts.
The man is just an absolute freak of nature.
All right, guys. One more thing before we move on here, just in the random notes that I have down here. Warren Sharp actually tweeted out the highest rate of incompletions due to receiver error in week 1. Just want you guys to take a guess at who had the least help and most help from their receivers, quarterback wise. All right.
Least help was Cam Ward.
I'm gonna say Geno Smith. I don't fucking know.
All right, I'll just read this off. So I'll just read it off here. So players with the highest incompletion percentage due to receiver error. Top 3, Joe Flacco, 35.7%, not surprising.
Of course.
Aiden Daniels, 36.4%. And Matt Stafford,
Really?
37.5%. Which did not expect that based on what I had seen. And then the bottom 3, Cam Ward, 25%. So not like a massive difference, but still lower.
This is for the receivers dropping the balls, right? Not because of the
Correct.
quarterback play. I'm
Correct,
saying
yeah.
Caleb's up there too.
Caleb, he's actually not on this list, so I guess he didn't have
He was mediocre.
didn't have Monday night in there yet. But Josh Allen, 23.1, and Justin Herbert, Quentin Johnson merchant, 22.2%. Again, that just kind of surprised me in general. Like, you'd think of Stafford having more reliable receivers and Herbert having the issues, especially with Johnson, but flip the script on it this week. All right, Mike, you go ahead and go grab yourself a beverage. Patrick, why don't you recap how Fantasy on Ice went this week? And just so everyone's aware, again, we're not doing we pick a player every week. We have teams, and if you didn't see us pick those teams, go back and watch it on our YouTube channel where we broke out the wheel, which you may or may not see here again today, to kind of randomize who we ended up with. So we all essentially played against each other, and we're just going to take the highest, lowest score every week and call that winner and loser. But Patrick, why don't you go ahead and let us know how everyone did?
Yeah, so game 1 of the week, it was Patrick versus Brandon. It was a tight one.
Not that the actual
Brandon,
individual matchups matter, because
they don't
technically
matter,
Mike
like,
beat the shit out of his team.
Yeah, I say it's still broken up into games because you can't have just a 3-way thing unless you're doing it on paper, and we're too lazy to do that.
Absolutely.
But I say starting off Thursday night, Friday night, Brandon looked like he was going to really pull away from us with Justin Herbert going off for 28 points on his own, follows it up with Christian McCaffrey, but say he fell just short with 108.8 points. My team pulled away at the very end. Derrick Henry coming in with a solid 29 points to give me the slight edge for the week at 113.4.
And Aaron Rodgers, who we gave you shit for getting because we know your opinion on him.
Yeah, I say, trust me, I hate Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I hate him as a person, but if he's going to get me 26 points, I'm going to take it. And then, sadly, Mike's team decided to not do anything. Joe Burrow couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Nico Collins couldn't catch a cold. And
yeah, you know how, like, how everybody in fantasy is like, it was a weird week 1.
I would say, to be fair, based on some of these names that you have on your list, it was a weird week 1 for you. You should not have lost by 42 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bijan had 70. A fourth of your team score.
Bijan had 21. I had 2 total players break 10 points.
All right, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, so Mike is drinking the ice for us today.
So while you do that, you can think, Mike, if you decide. So the way we're doing it, okay. So how this is going to work? We will all have one override where we'll get a little bit more of a pick of the litter. But if Mike is just using a standard drop here, as he is struggling with that ice,
he's getting old. It's another year older
too. Is just incredible. he might not be okay.
It's had a year to ferment in his fridge.
Beautiful. All right, I'll just share my screen here. So you guys can see exactly what we're talking about. That would be this wonderful wheel. And you'll see we have the projected top 30 tight ends chilling in here. And Mike is throwing back his tight end. And please remind me, because I cannot pull up the...
Jake Ferguson. But I have a question.
Yes.
Do we go real sadistic and put the player who we're dropping back in the wheel?
I don't think we can, but that would be hilarious.
No. As great as that
Get
would be,
out of here,
no.
Ed. You don't pay us.
That would
All
be
right.
really good.
All right, you ready, Mike?
You're not like Jim McConville.
All right, so what? We spin the wheel once, yes or no? Spin
I
the
thought
wheel
we were
twice,
just doing
yes or
one
no?
and
Spin
done.
the wheel third time, that's who I get?
Unless you want to use your one
I got
cash
confused
in.
when we talked about this before.
Just a one and done.
I got confused when we talked about this earlier, so it's just a one and done spin?
All right. We're going to YOLO.
Fuck it. You only YOLO once. Let
Let's
it ride.
see. Who do we
Let it
got?
ride.
Ooh.
Mark Andrews. It could be worse.
Da, 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 da.
So how did he do?
Woo! I was really close to
All
Hunter
right.
Henry.
I say Mark Andrews
Patrick-
killed it. 1 catch, 5 yards.
Hey,
All right,
can you
cool.
mark that down
I'm
somewhere,
gonna
though,
go
Patrick? So I
ahead.
remember to
Yep,
switch
I
them.
got it.
All right.
And then-
So I think we just go in the order, if this is cool with you, Patrick, of where we each finished. I'm also going to throw back my tight end, specifically Evan Ingram. Jonnu
Hold on,
was a
timeout.
flex. All right, hold on.
I say what? Jonnu's the flex, so you got to go to the flex wheel then.
No, if I'm not throwing back Jonnu. I'm throwing back.
Oh, you're
Evan.
not. Oh, okay, got it. You're throwing. Got it. Yep.
So yeah,
just
if we
the
took
tight
a
end
player on the flex wheel, which unfortunately Jonnu Smith was my. Ooh, that's actually. Shit.
I mean,
Actually,
Yeah,
you
you
know
can-
what?
you
Yeah,
can
that's a
get a
very
new
good
flex,
point.
which might
Let's
be
open
actually
up,
a
and
pretty
if you
good
guys
call
haven't
because
seen
there
this piece of
so
work,
many good players there.
this is the
It
flex
is
wheel,
magical.
where we have
Boy, is it dirty.
the top 90 projected
There
players,
are-
30 from each position. Hell yeah. Who
I
is
say
now
there are quite a
available,
few players
unfortunately.
down
Jake
there.
Ferguson.
Who are on other teams, so we will have to.
Yes,
He's
we
available.
may have to spin more than once.
Yep.
But and did we agree we can only do one of these a week? So like I can't throw back him and Ingram.
Correct.
All right, that's
Unless
fine. So, yeah.
a player is injured, in which
Correct.
case you
Okay.
can choose to keep
Right.
him or drop
Yeah.
him. But then that would give you technically a second spin.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it. Jonnu, you served me very well for one
Special
week.
occasion.
Yeah, I say
It's
you got
time to go, buddy.
the touchdown.
Who do we got?
No.
Well, we should have Jake Ferguson.
The boy, he came up like
Oh, my
18
God.
times in our
Oh, my
fucking
God,
draft
you-
episode.
You
And I
almost
got him.
ended
He
up with
came
Ferguson.
back. Welcome home, RJ.
Wait.
Holy shit.
I would have gotten Ferguson.
That would have been
Oh.
awesome.
Jesus
would've been so
Christ.
good.
All right.
That would've
RJ
been
Harvey,
so
welcome to the
good.
squad. I now have another viable flex player. Thank Christ. All right. So Patrick, you throwing anybody back?
I kind of want to throw back DeAndre Swift,
Ooh.
but
Ooh.
he's a flex.
I mean, I would. Is he your flex or is he your
flex
running
wheel.
back?
Flex wheel.
I'm gonna tell you
I know,
yes or
I'm
no
just-
on what my
After
Bears
what
are- I would
both
throw DeAndre
Montgomery
Swift back.
and
I think it's worth it.
Jameer
to spin the
Gibbs
wheel.
did last year, it's tough too. But I'm also we're gonna throw him in. Let's spin that wheel.
All right. So we are putting
DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift back. All right. I could take him. No, I'm not going to do all that. All right. Let's spin that wheel. Come on, Jake Ferguson. Does somebody have Amarian?
No, Amarian is not on a
little
team.
fuck.
All right. Nearly got Mark Andrews.
Oh. No. Wow.
Yeah, you could have done much worse. I'm seeing
Yeah,
Brian
that's
Robinson Jr., James Conner.
Yeah, say I was in a. I mean,
Dalton
Jamar
Schultz.
Chase is right there.
Yeah.
You
The
were in a pretty great
two
spot,
names
actually.
or
I
three names
disagree.
right after him who aren't Mark Andrews are kind of rough. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't see Dalton. Schultz.
Congratulations, everyone. I think we all got better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We all improved there.
I'll take it.
I don't know.
I like him
a little better
than
I'm just
DeAndre
not quite
Swift
sure
at the
about him.
moment.
All right. Ooh. Ooh.
I'm pushing to put up 80 this
Big
week,
numbers.
so
All right.
the bar is low.
Let's put a bow on this, gentlemen. Our pick'ems to end the week. Last week, good starts all around. Mike and I tied for first. Both went 11-5, and Patrick in his normal spot, bringing up the rear, 9-7.
Hey, you know what? I'll take a
Still
win
winning
in
record.
fantasy. So
That's
Trash.
fair enough. All right. You know what? Fantasy winner, we'll start with you this week. Thursday night, Washington at Green Bay.
I mean, after the way both those teams played this past week, I got to take Green Bay.
Green Bay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take Green Bay. I liked what I saw from Washington, but holy fuck, did the Packers look dominant? Michael. All right.
Yep.
I kind of
Drag
hope
it
I'm
across.
wrong there.
We're all
I
on
like
Green
Jaden
Bay.
Daniels.
Because guess
Yeah,
Micah
that's
has more
scary.
time to get acquainted
Slightly
with that defense.
terrifying. All
So
right.
that's even
I will
scarier.
start here. Cleveland at Baltimore. You're never gonna guess. Give me the Ravens. Michael. I was gonna say it. All right, now
Go Ravens.
that's true.
Absolutely
the
do
rules.
not go Ravens.
Patrick has
All right, fair enough. Was worth a shot.
I'm sorry. As much as I want to, I can't.
Mike, Jags at Bengals. Bengals?
Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah.
It's week
Yeah,
2. They
yeah.
figured it
Patrick?
out, right? They'll be fine.
Sorry, say that one more time. I was picking up players on your team for you.
You're good. Jags at Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals. All right. I saw enough from Jacksonville. I'll push the other side. Give me the Jags. We'll see. Again, all things considered, Cincinnati did not look good against the Browns. You're not
Against the
completely wrong.
Bengals. Because it's week
Patrick,
2 of
Giants and
Cincinnati.
Cowboys.
I mean, I don't want to take them, but I guess give me the Cowboys.
I'm kind of in the same boat. If Russ is still starting, I can't pick the Giants to win a game.
I'm going to pick the Cowboys, but
I'll start
I wish
putting
we
in
could
one
use
a week.
pass.
No.
Just one,
Religious
like,
objection.
just void the week. Like,
All right, I've got
we're not doing this.
Bears at Lions. Neither team looked good, but I definitely have a little more faith in the Lions. Mike. All right. As you should.
Interesting as ever.
Patrick?
I'm going
also
the
going
Lions.
the Lions. I want to
All
take
right.
the Bears just for shits and giggles, but I also don't want to fall that much farther behind you guys.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not
Mike.
trash, Michael.
Patriots at Dolphins. This is gonna be like TV number 1 in my house, like prime time.
Oh, this is terrible. I guess the fucking.
You could take a tie again, like you did last year for one
Oh,
game.
give me the Patriots.
I forgot we did that.
I forget who it was. It was a
I did
dog
do that.
shit
Who did I take a
game.
tie
It
for?
was like the Titans and I think it might have been Titans Patriots.
It was probably like Patriots Titans. That sounds right. Fuck it, give me
All right, you
the tie.
took New England,
This is a
Patrick.
stupid game.
Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah. Who do you got, Patrick?
Ooh, they're gonna burn you 2 weeks in a row, huh? Did they? Oh no, Mike took Miami last week. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll take the Patriots.
Yeah, I took Miami. Because I did not realize
Allegedly,
how
someone
badly-
has to win this game.
badly falling apart they
Patrick, 49ers at Saints.
I mean, even with half of their team on IR, I'm still going to take the Niners.
I don't know if McCoracle starts. I'm a little worried, but yeah, I'm
He's
taking
still
the
better
Niners.
than the Rat Man.
Yeah, you're probably right there. That I don't have an argument with. Kirk is one thing. Spencer Rattler. Mm.
Give me the Niners.
Yeah.
They're
It sucks because I
terrible.
want to pick the Saints,
All right,
but they're
I've got
so
Buffalo
bad.
at the Jets. Boy, Buffalo looked really fucking good this week. Yeah, man. It feels morally wrong to pick against Buffalo after what they just did to the Ravens. All right, 2 for Buffalo.
I really want to go the Jets because Buffalo's defense looked like shit, but it was the Ravens
fair.
offense, so they get a pass. I'm going Buffalo.
All right, Mike. Seahawks at Steelers in 2 teams that I didn't realize were playing.
Steelers.
Patrick?
They're going 2-0.
I'm also
Rodgers
going
is gonna
Steelers.
lead
I
them
have
to
no
victory.
faith in Darnold.
Yeah, I'm gonna be boring, guys. Especially against Mike Tomlin, I don't like whatever he's gonna have cooked up for G.E. Cubis.
Also,
Yeah,
I
figure
really,
it out
I expect
somewhat,
that
yeah.
Steelers defense to pick up.
All right,
I
maybe
really
the
do.
Justice have a generational offense. We'll see.
Very weird week one.
Patrick,
Across the-
Rams at Titans.
I'm saying this with the thought that Matt Stafford stays up the whole game, but I'm going with the Rams.
I'll make this my spicy game. I saw enough from Cam Ward. Stafford again didn't look great. And I have been saying I expect him to get hurt at some point. Not that I'm cheering for that, but I'll take Tennessee. I'll be different.
As you've seen enough from Cam, I've seen enough receivers.
Fair
I'm
enough.
going the other team. I cannot
All
pick
right,
the
I've
Titans.
Panthers at Cardinals. Wow.
It's gotta be better than
terrible.
Patriots Dolphins.
It's must
This is
not
how we're
watch
opening the
TV.
4:00 slate. I guess I'll take Kyler Murray because Bryce Young looked like old Bryce Young, and that really scares me. All right.
You know, say give me the toddler.
Same.
I mean, you could be referring to either of them, to be fair.
This is one of those
Let's be
where
The
real.
average height of the quarterback in this game is about 5'7".
Yeah, but who runs like a
You're
toddler?
right.
All right,
Who's
Kyler
that joke
Murray, I
about? Let's
got
be
it.
real. Come on now.
The muscle toddler. Is it Kareem Hunt?
Caleb
All
Williams.
right. Let's see. I picked first in that one. Mike, Broncos at Colts. The old Peyton Manning Bowl.
Fucking Broncos, because there's no fucking way
Patrick.
Danny Dimes is
Are
that
they, are they
good.
playing
Dan
in
Dimes.
Are they playing in Denver
Or Dan.
Indianapolis?
Right,
They're
Dan
playing in
Dimes.
Indy.
I'm taking the Colts.
Woo! All right. Yeah, I'm as cool as the Dan Dimes
Ow.
story is. Doing it against the Broncos versus the
Just-
Dolphins.
The Broncos offense didn't look good.
No, it did not. And Indy's got a good defense. It might be a closer game, but I'm still taking Bo Nix and that defense over.
That's fair.
If Dan Dimes proves me wrong 2 weeks in a row, then I'm ready to fully jump on that hype train.
I say
But-
I'll drop Aaron Rodgers and pick him up. I'll use my number one pick to get him.
There you go. Specifically.
I don't know if
I mean,
I've
I've been on the Daniel Jones meme train. Don't get me wrong. Patrick, Eagles at the Chiefs. Why is this the 4:00 game? Eagles Chiefs.
Give me the Eagles.
All right. Yeah. Man, if the Chiefs start 0-2, alarm
Big
bells are
birthday.
going to be going off. But yeah, Philly looked much better out of the gate. I'll take Philly.
I'll
too.
take the Eagles with
All
Jalen
right.
Carter,
That
please.
means I've got fitting Falcons at the Vikings. Atlanta's defense doesn't particularly scare me, but I think Penix can do enough to outscore JJ McCarthy, so I'll take the Falcons. Mike. Yep. I figured we'd be on opposite sides for this one.
Give me my
I
fights.
say give me the Falcons. The Vikings defense
Yeah.
doesn't scare me enough either.
There we go. All right. And we got a double header on Monday. Forget that they do this every once in a while, which is probably good because both of these games have potential to be terrible. Mike, Tampa Bay at Houston.
Oh, yikes.
All right. Patrick?
Give me
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
as well.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa. This feels, again, with Tampa, this feels like it's going to be 13-10, like not as spread as it should be.
I'll say it's either going to be 13-10 or 40-38.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yep.
But don't worry, in case that game sucks, at 10 o'clock, we have Chargers
Honestly.
at Raiders. Patrick,
Is
you
it
get
my
the first
pick?
pick here. Yeah.
I said we're going Chargers. They looked real good week one.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I like the Raiders, but divisional matchup here, man. The Chargers just look fucking incredible.
Until the Raiders have an offensive line, I
Bolt
cannot
the
pick them.
fuck up.
against
Guys,
the
we agree on
Chargers,
a
so
lot this
bolt
week.
up.
So not going to be a ton of separation, but looks like Patrick's got a chance to pick up a game. I've got a chance to
I
pick
got a
up
chance to pick up two games.
Oh yeah, you're right. Mike, did
Dolphins and
you?
Colts.
No, Mike went on his own for Minnesota, so we all have a chance to do a little something. But yeah, it feels like a little bit more of a chalky week this week.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, it's a boring week.
So it
There's
goes.
nothing
Well,
really too
folks,
spicy out there unless
thank
you
you
want it
again.
to be.
Appreciate you sticking around. Next week, again, Browns traveling to the Ravens. We'll recap that for you, along with everything else in the league. But I've had fun. I'm going to bed. For Brandon Soder, for Mike Tournament, for Patrick Walls. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Night night.